Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Rage Gaming Home Store right here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois for Wednesday Night Modern Locals. I'm Dom Stryker. That's Chris.
Hey, what's up? I'm
Great.
here in the booth today. I'm
Oh,
pretty excited to be with you over here, Dom.
baby, this is going to be a wonderful night. So we are jamming, you know it, modern out there. And the wonderful Chris, he's our new guest. He's popping in for the day. So we let him pick the goods, what he wants to see. He was out, let's say, scanning modern for maybe a moment at most, and something caught your eye, and it must be this Ruby Amethyst deck, right?
Oh yeah, I saw the rubies and some amethyst stuff going on, but honestly, I'm a big fan of mono red. I love Monument. It's probably one of my favorite cards in the recent months. Been playing a lot with that card. Seeing it in modern, oh, I'm sold.
Yeah, our boy David on mono red Asmo food. So you're going to see a lot of the pieces that you might be used to from the old shell, but now being supplemented by the Monument to Endurance. And Jack Strepick, you know him, you love him, you hear him in the booth, you hear him at home, and you're seeing him right here battling it out once again with what else? But goblins on that left side.
Yeah, and do you want to tell me a little bit about the goblins that we see in hand right there?
Oh, yeah. So, one, beautiful choices here for Jack, right? As David's getting the namesake cookbook into play. Jack jamming. Oh, yeah. We got a Kiki Jiki in hand, the worst place for your Kiki. We have Conspicuous Snoop. We've got the Goblin Matron. And the one of, oh, boy. He has the 3-mana Lord that gives all of your goblins haste.
Yeah.
Goblin. They all start with Goblin, right?
Is that a Goblin Chieftain?
Chieftain, yes, it is the Chieftain, right? So +1/+1 haste. So if you get stuck, oh no, Jack, dude, did you see?
Two Kiki Jikis in hand.
Okay.
Oh, that's so awkward.
So if you follow our lovely Goblin ringleader Jack on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, whatever your flavor is, I always tell him best of luck and may you not draw Kiki. And he has drawn both, which means, and David doesn't know this, the combo currently dead in the water, unable to happen. But Jack using the Goblin Crater Maker taking down the cookbook.
Well, the cool part here is David's not going to be very explosive. It's going to be a slow, grindy game. And the thing that Kiki does when you do draw it is just start copying different goblins you have. Like, what's the 4-mana goblin that's 2/2 and you reveal the top 4? Any
Goblin ringleader, Jack
Oh,
Trepic himself.
You're right. So my favorite thing to do is just using your Kiki to start copying the ringleaders. Just be able to draw so many goblins, flood your hand.
Oh, and here's Inti. So we were talking about David might be taking a little bit of time, but the aggression is now turned on. This Inti is going to allow this free discard outlet over and over for this Daredevil, and it's going to allow Asmo to get trampled, get pumped up every turn. So the aggression is on now.
Yeah, I may have talked a little bit too soon for that.
Right, because David's deck is a grindy deck, but once you add Inti into the equation, the grind is done and the beatdown begins.
Ooh, and now I see that Monument in hand, so that means we're just going to be able to cast it, return our Overchase Daredevil to hand when you get the artifact into play, then you discard it to
Then he has the cookbook to
trigger.
discard it.
Ooh.
And his Saga's going to be able to pop and find a second cookbook. So 2 discard outlets for the Daredevils, which means he's going to have 2 free triggers available off the Monument, plus combat. He can do the full hat trick if he wants next turn.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of value, but you still see Jack over here grinding it out.
Yeah, the important question is if Jack's going to take this Aether Vial all the way up to 5, right? Putting it on 3, we've seen this. This is good for Matron, for the other combo pieces, even for the Bogart Trawler. Putting up to 4, okay, maybe you've got Krenko, maybe you've got Ringleader. The second that tips up to 5, that's the alarm bells, right? Trying to get that card cast.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see what Jack ends up grabbing. I kind of think Ringleader is kind of where you want to be right here.
The hard part is the Scalding Tarn he has in play was the drop return. He saw that off the Snoop, so if he's short on lands, it might be difficult to find something that he needs a 4th mana source for. But he also does have a Surveil land, so he might be trying to grab, it looks like Krenko, so maybe crank the Vial up, put Krenko into play. This turn he can play Chieftain, so then he plays Krenko next turn, it would have haste.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Ooh, tutor for tutor. Demonic tutor for demonic tutor. Goblin matron for goblin matron. Make the decision next turn.
Yeah, and the other cool part is with the line that you said is we're cranking up the vial up to 4. So that means that we're just gonna be able to
Mm.
cast Chieftain next turn and then just activate vial, put in the Cranko. Uh,
So how would you have felt if Jack, instead of getting this matron, did get the Krenko and played out his chieftain instead? He would be in a similar situation to this, but what would happen is David could, with the double cookbook activation, have Asmo active, shoot down the chieftain. He would never get that haste off the Krenko. Instead, he's going to try to weave this a little of next turn have his 3 mana and his vial on 4, and try to 1-2 punch when David's not ready.
yeah, and the other part about it is uh, the only thing that David knows is this Cranko. So there's nothing saying that David knows about a haste or a way for him to
Right.
be able to activate it immediately. So
And it's not a typical thing in the Goblin deck, right? Jack uses, we'll say, like 4 to 5 slots in his deck for impactful one ofs. Been trying this Chieftain for a little while now, and it might just do this true 1-2 punch of haste and a million blockers. But the hard part is Inti gives trample. So David's going to go for this full hat trick, get all these pieces out, double cookbook for himself. And he actually chose to make a construct instead of play the monument. So he's trying to get as much value as he can out of each of his pieces of cardboard.
yeah, that's a lot more discipline than
Right,
I
I
would
want
have
to do the
been.
cool thing.
I just want to see how many times we can activate our monument every turn.
He could have done 3 immediately that turn.
And the other cool part is like when you attack with Inti, you discard it. When you discard it, you exile a card, and then you make a treasure token and then return it back to hand.
Oh, I didn't think about with the Daredevil synergy
Oh
part of it.
yeah, like there's so many
Oh.
cool parts to this that I'm so excited about.
And a couple of these pieces, I don't mean to say the P word, are Pioneer legal too. So every time I think of like a cool deck, and I'm like, oh, I could play that in Standard, but it's missing this part, then I think, oh, I could do it in Pioneer. It's got a couple more parts. And then there's Modern, where we're at the top of that power level. But it's interesting to think that the Monument's in Standard, Inti is in Standard, that a little bit of these pieces are there. The
What,
Daredevil, that's not there, though.
but what's that Pioneer thing you were talking about? I haven't heard of it.
It's an arena thing.
Arena only.
Jack here throwing the Matron in front of the Asmo because Inti targeted itself, so that was the trampling card. So Jack smartly absorbing the much damage as possible, not hitting the creature that has trample. And now, with 2 foods in play for David, this is the important part for Jack, is that he kind of needs to bait David, and David needs to not know that he's falling for bait.
Yeah, because right now Jack is just gonna pass the turn, and now he's just leaving it up to David to make a mistake. But discipline, David's
Mm.
waiting.
Yeah, but if David tries to clear blockers, the hard part is now that he's untapped, he can activate both these cookbooks and recoup those 2 foods all over again.
Ooh, you said untapped, and I see 3 lands in play. Are we gonna
Monument?
get it?
Monument?
Monument time?
I like how we have a SpongeBob basic, and a little Fallout for flavor in the or Fortnite in the middle for flavor there.
I'm so happy you know what those are because I have no idea what kind of basics those are.
David has been memeing with the Fortnite ones for a long time, and now there's a new opportunity, obviously, with the SpongeBob possibilities. And then a little Sokenzen, Crucible of Defiance.
Honestly, the exiles for David have been kind of mid.
Oh,
Oh,
Mox Opal.
never
What
mind.
were you saying?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My bad, David. Didn't mean to
Didn't mean
offend
it.
you like
Didn't
that.
mean it. Now, if David wants, he can hard cast his Daredevil. He's got black mana. Oh, Jack's taking this as his moment to strike.
He
And David, yeah, activated in response to the vial activation, then spent all of the food, shot down both pieces. And now
yes.
it's David's. This is David's moment to kind of. He's got the foot on the throat, and he's gonna push, and he is going to push down hard. Dashing Ragavan as well.
Oh, and lightning bolt there.
Oh, off the Inti? Shoot.
That was our last hope there for Jack. Because what we could have done is take Vile up to 5, be able to activate our Kiki, make a matron, and then have a ringleader. But
All right, we didn't indicate because he did discard there, but none of the creatures gained a counter. But Jack did the quick count, decided that the game was over, and we are out of here on game number 1. David Garola taking it down in a commanding fashion, really dominating the game. As soon as he found that Inti, he applied so much swift pressure to Jack.
ooh, and now we get to look at this Asmo food deck, mono
Ooh.
red.
How close is this one, do you think? It looks like all these goods are here.
Yeah, I mean, the key cards are here. You got Mako, which is your nice one drop for this deck, and then you also have Inti, which we saw just apply so much pressure. The crazy part to me is the
Oh
fact there's only one Ragavan.
Right. There's also a second crazy part, which is main decking Blood Moon in your Saga deck. Now, mind you, this is not David's deck list, right? So we're going to be pretty close to what we see here. David's a smart man, so hopefully we aired away from shutting down our own mana base. Yeah, come on. But cards that could be in the sideboard. Oh, this is a Jack Strepic sideboard, so it's shocking to see it here with this Asmo food deck. 4 Magebane Lizards, a Magus, some Shattering Sprees, Pyroclasms, Blood Moons, and Leyline of the Void. Generally thinking, even if you just are the Asmo opponent, what sort of pieces do you want to fight back against goblins? Pyroclasms,
Yeah,
surgicals, what are you thinking there?
Pyroclasm's the easy in. The big thing about like goblins is they only get bigger based off lords, and if your lord is only a 1/1 and then you kill it, then all your 3/3s are now going to be 2/2s, and then all those will die afterwards
Oh,
due to
yep.
state-based action. So Pyroclasm easy in, but I don't think you're really trying to be a surgical gamer in this matchup. You're just trying to have better value and just outgrind your opponent, which this
Yep.
Asmo food deck just showed. It doesn't need to like grind too hard to be able to beat it. It just needs to get rid of a couple threats and
Yes.
it's running the races.
Because, I mean, these threats that the deck had, right? We're talking the Mako, Asmo itself, and Inti. They all just get so big that allows the deck to kind of put all of its eggs into one basket and then just smash those baskets at the opponent. And here with Jack, I mean, I told you the sideboard looks pretty close to that. Here is that Goblins board. We're talking 3 Meltdowns, 3 Chalice of the Void, 3 Damping Spear, 2 Blood Moon, and 4 Leyline of the Void. Now, the Asmo deck has much more of that artifacty churn to it. So, how are we thinking about cards like Meltdown or Chalice?
Chalice, I definitely would be bringing in. I mean, the entire deck is one drops.
Chalice on 1? Okay.
Chalice on one, beautiful. So I slam those 3 in, and then I'm also gonna bring in a couple meltdowns. I don't think I want to bring in 3.
Yeah, but not
Because
3.
you don't want to start diluting your deck because then your ringleaders get worse, and then you also have to draw them, and they could be kind of awkward to draw Chalice of the
Mm.
Void on like turn 4 when you're trying to win the game. So I would say we're probably bringing in the 3 chalices, 2 meltdowns, and then I did see Jack end up boarding out a Goblin Chieftain, just trying
Good. Yep.
to dodge some of that removal. My guess is he also boarded out the Krenko because it's a little more awkward when you don't have
Mm.
that haste enabler.
And hopefully the Chain Whirler. I think that's going to be a pretty blink text box here as well. That's his little bit of main board in case he comes up against NRG. And the stuff that's going to come out of Dave are going to be way too big for that 1 damage to matter.
Yeah, I think those are the main things, but it looks like we're gonna be getting in there. David's on a mull to 6. Jack's keeping 7.
Much appreciated of players using the dice here so that we can play along as well with you, right? Seeing what these players are mulliganing down to. This is an important part of the game of Magic, right? Just having the overall advantage of cards in hand, but being on the draw, the mull to 6 basically feels like a 7 if you ask me.
But the good news is you don't see that turn 1 Aether Vial. You don't have that mana ramp that Goblins is known for and is gonna have those powerful starts with.
Now, if you're Jack and you're bringing in your chalices, hoping to put them on 1, do you shave some of your vials as kind of your only ones in your own deck?
I don't think that you would just because it's so powerful to do on turn 1. And then there's also tricks you can do with Vial, and if you have a Chalice in play, you can just start
Mm.
vialing in your Goblins and get around it.
I've also seen Jack use his Cavern of Souls on Goblin to cast spells through his own chalice, which is the wildest thing to see someone execute. And it's like, this is not a chalice check. I literally am allowed to do this.
Now,
Ding.
can we just talk about all the cardboard David
Yes.
just slammed into play turn 1?
And also, not to shock anyone, David was a breach player. So he's just transitioned to the next most possible game objects. As a Jack, in fact, does slam that chalice for 1, but the cookbook already here. Asmo, not a true 1-drop. Asmo actually a 0. And here is the Mog Mob, here to bolt down that Asmo.
Can you give me the full Oracle text on it?
Yeah, you sacrifice this card, and you can deal 3 damage divided among any number of targets.
Huh. That's impressive. I've
They
never seen
technically
that card.
worded out to 1, 2, or 3 targets, because it's Mog Fanatic, but 3 of them. It's in that line of they do 3 of something, right? So the Mog Mob gives you 3 Fanatics, in this case being a Bolt to take down the Asmo.
So what's the blue equivalent then?
They haven't done blue, right? They did green, red, and white so far.
Correct. So what's blue and black gonna be? What's blue?
What's is blue allowed to play creatures?
Yep.
Isn't the blue one Brain Surge? Or,
No, that means you're drawing 9 cards and putting 6 back.
oh my god. Okay, never mind. As Jack here matroning to grab the Bogart. I always forget the second word on this thing. The Bogart Trawler. So the one that is the Bajuka Bog, that graveyard hate on a stick, showing the importance of that in the matchup, and drawing his Crater Maker again, an answer for these colorless permanents.
And I really like the Crater Maker here because it could just blow up the cookbook, and now you're just kind of stranding the Mox Opal.
Right. He doesn't need to blow that up because if he takes care of everything else, it's very hard for the Mopal to actually be active.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we already know that David has, what, 2 1-drops in hand?
Yeah, Cookbook rotting in hand we know for sure, right?
I see another Mopal that's just Mox Opal that's rotting in the hand.
Yep, Legend.
And then it looks like the other card is Pyroclasm, so pretty awkward here.
At least the Clasm has tons of text, right? The second David's life total is really under duress, he can take care of everything. Oh, Barbarian Ring? David, you hero.
But how do you feel about Pyroclasm on 2 Demonic Tutors?
No, I definitely wanted like a lot more value out of that because I think Jack's now in the clear. He's slamming literally combo piece A and combo piece B here, using his Arena of Glory to give it haste and killing immediately on the spot. Dunzo Deadzo.
So we didn't actually get to see it executed, but do you want to explain how the combo works?
This is the perfect time to do so. So Jack's combo starts with Conspicuous Snoop, which typically needs to not have Summoning Sickness. In this case, because he's using Arena of Glory, this card has haste, allowing him to do his full combo in 1 turn. So when he has the Snoop and it is non-summoning sick or hasted, he then needs to cast Bogart Harbinger. So this is 2 and a black. It's a goblin that tutors for you, but instead of putting it in your hand, it puts it on top. This is important because Conspicuous Snoop has the activate abilities of goblins on top. So what he does then is he uses the Harbinger to go put Kiki Jiki on top. The Snoop gains the activated abilities of Kiki Jiki. And what's very important is the Snoop does not become a Kiki, it just has Kiki's ability. So it itself is not a legend, so it can tap, targeting itself to make a copy of itself using Kiki's ability. So now, now the Snoop is tapped, but there is a new Snoop that has haste because of the Kiki effect that then also gains the Kiki off the top, taps itself to make a copy of itself. So then Jack makes ad nauseum amount of tapped Conspicuous Snoops. And then with the final one, when he's ready to be done, he then makes a copy of the Bogart Harbinger, the card that started the combo, makes a copy of that to search for a new creature, and then goes and puts the not Kiki Jiki, the Siege Gang Lieutenant.
I'm disappointed.
Back on top.
I'd put Mog Fanatic on top.
Or the Mob. So this is the raw. The Mog Mob, the new one that we were just talking. Did I really? Sling Gang. The Sling Gang. He will go and put Sling Gang Lieutenant or Mog Mob on top. That allows each of them to sacrifice themselves to deal damage to David, and that's how it fires off at the end, right? Yep. So tons of things to say that I always told Jack that I think one of the big level ups was kind of playing this Goblins deck, kind of like you were playing Yawgmoth, of just playing a creature value deck and then sometimes just oopsing into a combo. That's what he did there. He played a Chalice out, ground for a couple of turns, got to 5 mana, and went AB kill you.
All right, I have a new question for you. How do you feel about Monimation? What is it? The expert.
Munitions Expert?
Munitions Expert, thank you.
So
in this matchup.
The card itself is good, right? And them drawn early can snipe things like an Inti or a small Mako, but it is a card that things can go poorly quickly. It is a card that can lose its text box, and you can see Jack's kind of agreeing here, right? That
yeah.
It's a card, and it might be one that you're happy to tutor for later if you need it. You might be happy to draw it in the mid game, but it's a card that's hard to start with.
And Jack does exactly what I do, where you go, I like all my spells. I'm just going to put this line.
You put the land down? You put the land down, of course.
Well, we have a survey line.
Yeah,
we'll find it.
You can use this Arid Mesa. Whoa. This is the second Ragavan this match, my friend. The first one smashed and Jack conceded immediately. Okay,
Ooh.
David, third secret layer basic revealed, alongside I believe Bloomborough just from the set mountain.
I,
Ooh, maybe it's a winter. If it's a winter, that's the 10%er, right? And David's a man of class, obviously.
but can we just talk about how this is a
Turn
turn
2
two
monument.
monument? I'm
Yes, we.
so
You know what? We
excited
can
about
talk
this.
about that. Go off, King.
Because the other thing we see in hand is there's a cookbook, and
Okay.
I also saw an Overchase Daredevil in
Okay.
hand, and I see that we're cooking.
Now, have we seen out of David so far any of these games the card Faithless Looting?
Yes, we saw game
We
one.
did. Okay, so
Uh,
he's got it in there.
so we're going to be going off. I see. Wait, is that a Shattering Spree in hand?
Oh my gosh, it is.
That's
He got so
interesting.
scared of that chalice because if you replicate it, it doesn't counter the replicated copy, right?
You're right on that.
Okay.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
And now put him in the book.
All right, so the first one should be make a treasure, then we can get it back, or are
Oh,
we
that one's
going
always
to?
free, right?
I
Oh,
guess we'll make
well,
a food, so it doesn't matter.
um,
So I think, do you do draw card here, or do you think that we do
so I
deal
think I
through?
want to draw a card because he's out of discard outlets currently,
Correct.
unless he has a Street Wraith in hand.
Okay, so you think draw card is always the best first, and then
And
just start growing value.
probably holding priority on the Daredevil trigger, in case you want to return it before making the second artifact.
Ooh, you know what I just see? Faithless looting coming in.
Yes, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it was the retro ones. I forgot about these.
So
Okay.
we're gonna deal 3 damage, make a treasure, return the Overchase Daredevil. And now we're firing on all cylinders here. But what are we gonna discard?
The Daredevil is the quick and easy discard, and then it's not his third land, so he's instead looking at.
Because it looks our hand is Mountain.
Oh, he's looking at
Mox
dropping the
Opal.
Shattering Spree. He dropped the mountain. He dropped the mountain.
All right, so if I'm seeing it correctly, it's Mox Opal and then Asmo,
Okay, that's a good
and
1-2
then
punch. He's discarded a card this turn, so Asmo online.
we get a cookbook.
Use the
cast
treasure for the cookbook.
And then on Jack's turn, we are now able to discard it to draw a card with our monument again.
Yes, he can. Or, depending on how spicy he's feeling, he can start bolting turn after turn after turn after turn. Give Jack as little time as possible.
Yeah, I think this one.
Oh, and sorry, the activation of this cookbook is second food, which is Asmo activation as well. So he has kind of impactful creature covered, and now he's got his engine online. This deck's sweet.
So much value. I didn't think I'd be so excited to watch this.
So we're walking up for putting these players on feature, right? And David says, "Hey, so you know, I'm playing Asmo Cookbook," and I go, "I know, that's the plan, my dude." He was like, "Oh, you saw everyone playing Hollow, and I thought you thought I was in Hollow," and I was like, "Nope, we knew, we saw."
I saw the monument and I was like, get
Yeah.
David on stream, please. This is all I wanted to watch.
So it looks like first trigger is gonna be drawing a card, right? Or the trigger for Jack's turn, and
Yep.
now David untapping for his turn. I think the draw card is always the safest. Just put yourself up on resources and figure it out after that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, especially because there's so many different ways you can accrue value with this deck.
Yeah, the double cookbook and your Daredevil, you just get 2 triggers that, again, if he really wants, David can go bolt on my turn, pass, bolt on your turn, untap, rinse, and repeat. It does not take long to deal 14.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised David didn't just flashback Faithless Looting here.
Oh. So we know the hand is Shattering Spree, Daredevil, and one unknown?
Yeah, because if we did the Faithless Looting, then we get treasure, draw a card, accrue more value, and then bring back the Daredevil with the treasure. And then on Jack's turn, we're also able to activate Cookbook again to draw another card. But
Oh.
maybe there's something in David's hand that he's just trying to keep.
And he's taking down the Lord here. You saw Jackalow wave of his hand, indicating that he forgot his trigger, and he's going to play it face up that way. And here's the Street Wraith. This is kind of a part of that value. Whoa. David has the land that is the MDFC, but land destruction on the front from MH3. I can't even, like, Sundering Eruption? Is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is.
Yo, let's go.
I had Sundering in my head. I'm like, I have no idea what the other part of this card is.
Boom. Yeah. That art stood out like no one's business.
Honestly, I'm just impressed that you knew it.
Thank you. I'm impressed. I appreciate the Yeah, Jack understands. Look at that. His life total plummeted there over that turn cycle, just down, 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 and nothing Jack can do. The incredible engine of the Monument to Endurance. David taking it down 2 games to 1, and Jack demonstrated some power, right? Took it down on turn 5 of that game 2, but here we are, the boys in the back. We got Michael Ryan on the left side with creativity and George Jabor on the right side with blue-white control, but this is tap out Orem's Chant Scepter Lock blue-white control. George has gone evil. He's got the laser eyes over the over the image now, right? He has gone full dark side while still in blue white control.
Honestly, I think he's a hero now.
Hey, we all think differently, right?
Because my big thing is I don't like blue white control when it just sits around dirtling. But the cool part about Scepter Lock is you're not only just like sitting around doing nothing, but you have a combo to make it so your opponent's not doing anything.
And then we're on even playing field.
Exactly.
There it is. And fun fact, Mike Ryan on our left side here took down RCQ this past weekend here in the Chicagoland area with this creativity deck. His opponent in the last round, George DeBoer.
Can we just talk about that basic mountain for a second?
A good, beautiful, snow-covered foil cold snap.
It looks like it.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a dragon I see up there?
Ooh. I think it's like a goblin actually like jumping for its life. I don't. Oh, chant number 1. And we came in right at the beginning of this game number 2 with George already. Sorry, game number 3 with George already with a Icecrown Scepter in the graveyard. I have no idea how it got there.
Probably Surveil Land with the archive.
He didn't want it. And now here is, oh yeah, Prismari command. And Mike Ryan, it's important to indicate his current version of creativity is Grixis creativity. So we're not going to be seeing any of the green pieces like Ren and 6, none of the white cards like Teferi or Prismatic Ending. This is Grixis. Very much a blue-black control deck with creativity package.
So what are we gaining from playing the black? Like outside of Archon?
I've seen him play Thoughtseize. He has those Dismembers that you can at least get a little bit of that discount there. Fatal Push 4x, no problem there.
Do you know if he's playing Persist in there?
He's playing Persist. Yeah, he's doing the Faithless Looting Persist package as well as creativity at large.
Yeah, I really like the Grixis version. Being able to play like Prismari command, having some amount of counter suite. Usually we see Spell Pierce and Mystical Dispute.
And 4x counterspell because we're on Grixis, so clean mana here.
Okay, I didn't know about the counterspell, but
yeah, Xander's Lounge forgives all sins.
Ew, what is that basic?
So that is the Brain Dead Island alongside Tefeathery. So George with a real turn here, baby.
Did you just say Tefeathery?
That's Tefeathery, man. And okay, my favorite part is George put out a poll of if you're gonna play a basic island, which one do you play? This was not one of the 4 options, and then he showed up playing this instead.
Oh, what an animal.
And here's Mike Ryan. Yeah, baby. That's expressive iteration.
I think I'm just going to start calling it 3-feathery.
Okay, 3-feathery. That's good for me. I like calling it Tefeathery.
So what do you call Jace the Fox? Just putting you on the spot for a second there.
I'll have to tell you off air.
Oh, no.
Mike Ryan, expressive iteration, putting this Raucous Theater face up as his exile, playing it, getting his Surveil on. And very importantly for George, he has, I think, 1 card in hand. So the Fear of Archon is going to continue over and over. And here's a Bolt on the Teferi, and Mike Ryan discarded Striker Rich.
I think we have a lot more than 1 card in hand.
Oh,
looks like we have 5.
He kept it real tight in the stack. I'm sorry. Who am I to tell George to not have 5 cards in hand, right? That makes much more sense.
Yeah, and it looks like you were dead on the money. We got Counterspell. I saw 2 creativities in hand. I think I saw a Fetch in hand.
Okay, for Mike Ryan there?
Yep.
So the Fetch, for those who aren't familiar with creativity, indicates that he can go find Dwarven Mine alongside his 3+ mountains in play, create a 1/1 to give him a free creativity target. But George here is kind of, like I said, playing more of a tap-out version of this deck. Has a lot less counter manage and a lot more board control. And, turns like this, tapping low, hoping to find Force Negation. Mike Ryan might just try to push through any moment now.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of like the tap-out control in a lot of matchups, but it's kind of scary in this matchup. Not being able to have that open mana to be able to interact with what's going on. And Michael's just going to have kind of free reign of whatever he wants.
Yeah, especially now. Like, This is a very pivotal turn when you're playing against creativity, but he's going to grab this face up off this Narset, says, if you can't do it this turn, I'm going to do it to you next turn. Here's Preordain, which means he doesn't have Orm's Chant for Mike's turn.
Unless.
But he could Orm Chant on his own turn so that the Daze does not get counterspelled. Uh-oh.
This is interesting here. Because if George doesn't have anything, then Michael is going to be able to just go creativity, George sacrifice the Narset to the Archon trigger.
Now, you're looking at your opponent, George DeBoer, tapped out, turn number 4. Is he bluffing this Force of Negation? Do you feel the fear of God, or do you have to go for it?
Oh, I slam.
All right.
They never have it.
Oh, no. Basic, it's got to be an island.
Are you sure?
It's blue. So,
I believe you.
Indicating that this could be holding up a Pierce or a Snare. I know George's been playing Snares. I don't know if I've seen Pierces out of this, but that 1 mana is important to hold up here.
And right now we see Michael kind of hesitating, trying to figure out what is he going to do. Because he could just wait 2 turns and have Counterspell backup.
So he has to be careful, too, because if George has white card Solitude, he can break up a Dwarven route.
Okay.
Where he couldn't break it up if it was like an artifact that he was sacrificing. And George, with an island up, would not have March of Otherworldly Light available that he would have if he had a white source available. So the thoughts here are, does George have Force? Does George have Solitude? Can you play around it? Should you play around it? What's the plan?
Never play around it. Just slam it.
This is the Dwarf. So creativity for 1, hold up your Xander's Lounge. Come on. 3 mana? You just flashing back? He's scared. He's scared. He's scared.
Wait, if he flashes back, do you think he'll realize that Narset's going to stop it?
I wonder if he's thinking about flashbang his Strike it Rich to have a safer target. But the danger is, he knows the Daze News face up. He knows he's about to lose these cards. And the counterspell in his hand, if George does have Chant, Mike is forced to counterspell the Chant, which means the day is free to go through. So this tap-out deck is putting a heck of a squeeze on Mike.
And he had it.
It's a Solitude, which specifically interacts with the Dwarf side of this plan and not if it was an artifact. But, so I'm going to go on quick tangent. He has the Days Undoing is going to put Mike in the dirt, hopefully, here pretty quickly. But I played a version of this deck that, instead of having the all-red mana base, has the all-green mana base, because the green land from this cycle makes a food token. So you have a safer target to go off with. It was bad.
I believe you.
But it was better if you play it with Shape Anew instead of Indomitable Creativity.
Shape Anew.
Yeah.
That's the 4-drop that...
It flips artifacts, so it turns an artifact into an artifact.
So what are you getting, Blightsteel Colossus?
It was Portal to Phyrexia, and I played all the pitch elementals in my deck because it flips right past them, and then you just portaled people.
Honestly, that sounds sweet.
And it was bad because Modern is way faster than your 4-mana sorcery. So I applaud these players, both of them looking to tap out on turns 4, 5, 6, but lock it in here for George as this Days Undoing puts Mike down to 1 card plus this draw step against George's 7 cards in hand.
Ooh, but Expressive Iteration.
That's a heck of a drug. That's a good way to get out of it.
I swear, Expressive Iteration's always the top card after their Hellbent.
Yes.
I found the Expressive Iteration.
You're like, I'm doing well. I got to get through like the next turn and a half. Oh, Expressive Iteration? My bad. And Mike found Fetch, so if he might just try to go Dwarf Creativity here and just hope George doesn't have it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's coming together right now.
Yep. I mean, this is a fast Dwarf. Fable. Because this is the other card he found off the Creativity, was this Fable.
Okay. I'm sad now.
So this is a part that I think makes or breaks Creativity players. And I'm not saying what Mike is doing wrong, even a little, but saving your Dwarven Mines for when you're immediately ready to use the Dwarf. This one's kind of just make a 1/1 mode.
Yeah.
But not immediately like A plus B, go for it turn. I don't know that it's wrong, but I know last I was talking with Mike, we're on 3 mines, not 4, to kind of actually have a real mana base. So going through 2 of them already is kind of a big cost here.
Yeah, but at the other part, like, you're so far behind already.
Yup. That's a Ron Spears signed Supreme Verdict found here off the Narset. Probably going to be used to clear up these 2 value pieces out of Mike. Or if George was feeling real frisky, he could wait a turn or two and eat the whole Fable using the Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be waiting that long on it.
Okay, we're not waiting. Here's Preordain.
I just love outside of the basics. I love how George's has like full.
Oh, it's gorgeous. But the one card they won't give him a full art for is Days Undoing.
I don't know if George actually drew a card. I think he just scried 2 and then put them on top. I don't know for sure. I could be just going crazy.
Huh.
Gone crazy.
I you know what? I think he brainstormed a little there. I think he just put the 2 back on top, you know?
There's also a chance that he just like had one, like he just put 1 into hand. And one
Oh,
on
yeah,
top.
for sure.
But I'd be pretty scared if I was Michael seeing top.
Yes. Top is always terrifying.
Oh, and we came in loot with Fable because of the Narset.
Yeah.
So it really just is a sad Fable.
And Mike leaking a little bit of information here. Tapped 3, untapped it, thinking about his play. You know,
What do you think it is?
Fable?
I was kind of thinking like Prismari Command.
Command
Maybe-
be sick because he deal with the Narset. So he could have, with the trigger from Fable in the stack, he could have Prismari'd command the Narset, but then he'd have no cards in hand.
Okay.
Boo. Preordain. Digging deep. Remember, George topped last turn, and bottom this time. Drawing a fresh one. So now he's looking to win. And I believe the win conditions are Teferi, Hero of Dominaria Tuck. You remember that.
Oh, lordy.
And Jace the Mind Sculptor alt. I've seen him put a Jace the Mind Sculptor in play and just plus, even though it's definitely not an impactful thing to do, just to move towards the ultimate as fast as possible. And what is that in hand? Who could it be? Jace the Mind Sculptor, better than all.
Wasn't George playing Jace when the
ring was
in?
legal? Yes. But I believe he played it as like 5th and 6th ring, not 1st and 2nd ring.
I know Raja Solomon was a believer in the poor Jace before the One Ring.
No, Raja is an acquired taste. There are some folks that go off the deep end with him, and there are those of us that don't understand. And I don't understand.
Hey, Raja is a believer.
Yes. I mean, that blue-black Asmo deck that only Raja can win with is sick.
Raja was the one that told me about Psychic Frog in my Spoils of the Vault combo deck.
Ooh.
And it brought me from probably a 1-8 record to I had a winning in for day 2.
Yeah, about 5 and 3, right?
I went 5 and 4.
5 and 4 at the RC. Ooh, Misride's Village, Tarkir card alert. Wee wee.
What card? Oh,
Misride's the land that can make your spells uncounterable.
that means that I can pay 5 mana for my Tefeathery.
Yes. And very importantly, it's entering untapped because he has a Jeskai Triome, which meets the have a mountain criteria in his blue-white control deck.
Isn't it? Is it?
It's the Teamer land, yeah.
Because we also have a breeding pool. I think I saw. Oh, maybe he didn't grab it. I could have sworn I saw a breeding pool.
Because I think he does a little bit of that split to make his prismatic endings as big as possible.
Oh, that makes sense.
Ooh, the uncounterable Slam Jace. And Mike said, okay. Yeah, King, here we go.
Let me take a quick look. Oh, I bet that's a land.
Also, quick comment on the etiquette of George. You could see right there in the moment he asked, hey, do you mind if I, right?
Yeah.
Some players may uptick their Jace and snap at the top card of your deck. That's not cool. Some players be like, no, it's all right, but I'll show you, like off of Mishra's Bobble. That's fine. But George straight said, like, hey, do you mind? And then looked at it. The little things go a long way for kind of both players enjoying a game when Jace the Mind Sculptor stuff is happening. And etiquette is definitely one of those. As the Prismari command takes a little off Jace and then does a loot there.
Something tells me Michael's not having fun with a Jason play.
Hey, here's the thing I know about Mike. Mike just kind of vibes through all the events, so he's doing A-okay. He's probably appreciating the challenge a little.
Man, I see Jace uptick. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fall asleep before this game's over.
Yeah, and because of the Prismari command, it's going to add a whole nother turn to the Jace uptick clock. And there's a flashback on Strike It Rich. Do what you got to do.
Is that a Striker Rich in the wrong zone? Well,
We can't have that.
hopefully he just doesn't flash it back because I did see a creativity in Michael's hand, so he's gonna probably play that with counterspell backup. I
There it
do believe.
goes.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that.
He must have heard us.
I think it's the like. There's 3 people out there watching now, so one of them's got to catch it. And tons of mana for George, right? So we're thinking Mike's going to try to push through a creativity here. But the question is, can he? Will he? Will it work? But we're going for it. Here's a force negation, paying for it.
My
Now,
question:
yeah,
do you ever activate your
yes,
land?
yes.
Okay.
My standard opponents have used this to crush me when I'm playing combo decks to make their counterspell uncounterable. Because my answer to their counterspell is the 3 counters in my hand, and they go activate. This counterspell is uncounterable. And I go, I just can't interact. My entire hand gets turned off immediately. So yes, I actually think that's a sick play to use your uncounterable land to protect your important counterspell.
Yeah, I mean, you see how much of an impact Dovin's veto had for such a long time.
Ooh, yes.
Like, that's what Miss Vale Village, is that what it is?
Miss Rise, Miss be
Miss
Rise, it be
Rise.
rising.
I cannot remember all of these.
It's okay.
It's impressive.
I only have one hobby. And in my defense, I just bought a Miss Rise Village and activated it recently.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of blue cards.
Yeah, I always hate them and then somehow find myself playing them, so I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat.
The
like,
other colors are fun to play, but the blue ones seem to win.
and I think you and I are in the same boat of I want to be playing fun cards,
Yep.
but I just want to combo kill
But
people.
I want to play fun cards, but I do want to win. And you find yourself in the middle somewhere. These players made a huge reaction to Mike discarding a counterspell here, and an Archon with his persist. George with the tech and the surgical extraction ready to take care of those. Yeah, dude, they flipping out over there.
So how do we win?
If you're Mike,
Yep.
Bolt and Fable beatdowns.
Ooh, I love me a good Fable beatdown plan.
Now, can I interest you in? I'm trying to convince Mike to play a transformative sideboard that consists of 4 Frog, 3 Kaido. No, that's not the right phase, Chris. No, come on.
Can we do without the Kaito?
No, the Kaido's the best part.
Yeah, but how are you? You're not activating Kaito and putting it in.
Yeah, well, you are off the Frog and the Dwarf, and here it is with Mike Ryan. Got all of those Archons removed, decided that, yeah, we're done here, and George taking it down 2-1 here with this tap-out blue-white control. Did I need to lock you down? Instead, I'll just take up my Jace until you give up. Narset backing up George for years now, helping him lock it in here in round number 1 at the NRG Locals. And folks, if you want to play any of these incredible cards that you're seeing here today, if you want to buy Jace the Mind Sculptor, because folks are still out here winning with it, you can stop by nerdragegaming.com, pick up your Tarkir singles. That's been my favorite part. They're clearly ripping and buying. There's tons of Tarkir cards coming in and out of the store. And if you don't see what you want, you can use the wish list function, my favorite function by far. You just get an email midday on a Tuesday that says the Gear Hulk you really need is in stock. Boom, fire that off real quick. It's incredibly helpful. And you can do pickup here at the home store. You can do pickup at an event, or you can have it sent out to you. Tons of options to get the cards that you need into your hands while supporting Nerd Rage Gaming. In addition, they got a TCG player store, so if you're trying to pick up foils and stuff, that's available. Here it is. They sell a lot of their other games as well, things like Pokemon, Fab, One Piece, a lot of places to find these cards. Nerd Rage Gaming and their associate TCG player store are those spots. And if you want to play those cards, boy, is it coming. Chicagoland, Saturday, Sunday, May 10th, May 11th. You too could be just like Nikachu. Saturday, 10K Modern Showdown. That's the format you're watching right here, right now. A showdown. That means you qualify for NRG champs immediately. You get a token in your likeness on top of all of them goods that you are winning. Check out these tokens. Things like Matt Hoey as the GOAT with those Norm Bucks. We're talking Nikachu. We're talking that construct with the boys on it. The Dom Harvey borderless floating mana token sporting the double trophy weekend. And I mean, shout out to Theo Jung, who I believe has the most NRG tokens with 3, backed up by Hoey, who I think currently has 2.
Dykeman also has 2.
Dykeman has 2 alongside Hoey and Grayson.
Grayson.
Grayson has 2 now with his technically back-to-back winning a Sunday NRG into the first Saturday NRG. So not as fancy as the Dykeman trick, but you can still pull it off. That's that third event you see there, May 10th and 11th, and the final one of season 1, June 20th and 29th in Indianapolis. If you remember that quick shift we had to make last year, this is the makeup with a double showdown weekend where 4+ people will be qualified for NRG champs. 10K standard showdown has been moved to Sunday, and the 10K sealed event will be on Saturday. Reason being is draft takes some time, so they're going to give folks as much time as possible on a Saturday to do the team sealed final fantasy event, and then on the Sunday to have that 10K standard. That's going to queue all 3 members of that team and that standard winner for NRG champs and all of the points leaders for season 1. So May 10th and 11th, that's the Chicago event, and then late June to finish out season 1. But don't worry, season 2 will also be here before you know it. Folks, thank you so very much for joining us for round number 1. Chris and I are going to get something to drink, a little peek out there with the folks out there, and we'll be back ASAP. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye.
See ya.
Hey, what's up? Nerd Rage Gaming Home Store, Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Here for Wednesday Night Modern. It's round 2. Dom Striker alongside Chris Smith.
Yo, what's up? We're back.
It's
Over there?
if I do
I'm over
both, we'll be good. There he is, Chris Smith, here in the booth, hanging out, round number 2. And as I said to Chris, as we grab this match, I have indicated this as a slobber knocker. As we have Adam Weiss, left side, playing Hollow One, and Brandon, right side, playing Eldrazi Tron, with a reveal of Devourer of Destinies.
All right. So, do you have any insights for how this matchup should go? Any
Uh,
key cards from either side?
Adam on the draw
Correct.
needs to apply pressure as fast as he possibly can and hope that Burning Inquiry can break up Tron. Brandon is on the hunt for things like Ensnaring Bridge or slamming Ugin ASAP to remove board states.
Ooh, interesting. So,
Except the Hollow One. Go off.
Brandon decided to keep if I saw correctly, another Devourer on top of his deck.
And lost Tron Dismember, right?
Correct.
And here's a turn 1 slam. This one is Nethergoyf?
Correct.
Great.
I played that one before.
They gave the good name away to the bad one. So this one is Nethergoyf.
What? That card is sweet.
But Necrogoyf is a better name,
No,
which
that
they
one's
gave to the
better.
bad card.
Nethergoyf is way better.
It's a better card, yes.
Nah, I like Nethergoyf.
Okay.
It's so much cooler. Necro, like,
As Brandon slams second Tron piece into Relic of Progenitus,
does
which
he just have natural Tron in hand?
that's probably why he binned the other 2 off the Devourer. And
Oh
his
my.
payoff is to go Devour. The hard part is if Adam does do some random discard effects here, but he just went Street Wraith, and he's going to slam this Hollow One because he's going to double discard this turn.
Yeah, and we're just gonna be able to play both of them.
2
for one
Hollow
mana
Ones.
each?
Okay. So this is the pure aggression mode, right? Now, for Brandon, I would have been scared of the Burning Inquiry to strip Tron out of my hand just accidentally. Instead, I'm now terrified of this massive board state out of my opponent. 2 cards discarded, Street Wraith and a Street Wraith, allowing a discount of 4. 1 mana for one, 1 mana for the other, and this is what? 4, 8, 9 power in play on turn 2 for Adam.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good start for Adam here.
And we saw Powerhouse in round 1 of Inti. Adam Weiss here with Inti as well can give +1 and trample to whichever creature he would like. Oh boy, oh. Brandon, you got that Tron? Hey, you got any more of that Tron? That's Cavern
Ooh.
Souls. Naming Eldrazi.
I
Okay.
mean, we see the Eldrazi command in hand
Okay, this is
So-
for 1. Exile the Goyf
and make a
and
spawn.
or the Street Wraith. It depends on if he knows to play around Inti or not. Oop, scry 1 draw. Mr.
Alright, so-
Shizness, yes. If our players submitted deck lists, we'll show you their exact. If not, we'll give you top performing decks off Goldfish so we can kind of show you what's going on. And what do you see in there? We ended up going with the Exile Goyf and the Scry 1 draw. Did you see what Brandon was looking for?
I saw an expedition map. I didn't see if he left it on top to draw it or not. But honestly, it's kind of slow here. Like,
Yeah.
you tap everything, you go to your tower, and then you have 3 mana to your opponent's 8 power in play.
Right, and he had 3 mana this turn, and we kind of spent it on command for 1. So showing that we didn't have a good outlet for the 3 mana, and we may not have a good one for next turn either.
But
And-
the other thing that we did see with Brandon is it was 2 Urza lands, but neither of them were tower that got exiled.
Oh, we saw Mind Power Plant, so that's why those went, because they weren't completions of Tron. And that's why he took that Devour. I think he may want that Dismember back that he lost, but we
Yeah.
shall see.
Especially, like, if you know Adam is known for, like, burn, like, you know he's playing up red cards, do you keep
Well-
Dismember?
If I thought he was playing Burn, absolutely not, right?
And I'm curious if that, like, is part of the thought process Brandon had, because
Mm.
I don't think I would ever have that card in my deck if I knew he was playing burn.
Yeah, if I saw Adam walk in, I would remove Dismember from the 75 just to be sure. As Adam goes into Marauding Mako. Big turn here because this is going to allow a discard to trigger the Mako, as well as giving +1/+1 trample to one of these Hollow Ones.
Yeah, Brandon needs a lot right here. I think it starts with Urza's Tower.
Big exile for Adam here. Don't know what he can cast, but he's going to find out.
Mm,
Arid Mesa. And he is on the draw, so he's played his third land, so we won't have access to that. Gone forever, as Adam Weiss has said. And here is 9 damage coming across into Brandon's face. Down to 10, untapping. Urza's Tower, now is your moment. Ooh, that was Ugin. I saw the shine of the blue.
that doesn't look like what we needed there.
So, do we go crack Relic to draw a card and pray?
I think that's what we have to do. Just use Cavern, cross our fingers.
Oh boy. And we'll have to see. Aviva, did Brandon submit a list or are we going to use a stock one? Okay. So, very importantly, we're going to have to kind of contextualize just how much we think Brandon is a Karn board versus real sideboard cards, because that might determine just how much of a one sided matchup this is. Because if he doesn't have any helpful pieces, right, of like a couple bridges or some sort of like Wrath of God effect in some way, shape, or form, this could get difficult.
I'll be honest, I'm also a firm believer that like your Karn board is a game 1 piece, and in game 2 and 3 you should be bringing in like the third and fourth cards in your Karn board, because they're still better than, let's say, like random cards that aren't good in this matchup.
The amount of times I boarded in my Wormcoil because it was just better than nonsense happened all the time, right? Because there's kind of that feeling, or there's the like Karn board of only 7-ish cards, so you have a real board after that. I think people may go overboard sometimes on Karn boarding, but Brandon using the Cavern, popping this Relic, praying, crossing those fingers, and shout out to John in chat. What's up, dude? Stopping by, first time chatter, spotting that Ugin. Big shouts, my man. As Brandon scooping him up, massive power out of Adam again. That was 9. Count it, 9 power in play on turn number 2. Turn 3, smashing into Brandon in a concession before he gets to that turn 4.
Yeah, I really like how Hollow One is positioned. Oh, we're playing Venge.
Oh yeah, this is the Hollow Vine. This one is what? Is this Krista's list? Is this Adam's list? Is this Haviva's list? Is this Chris's list?
I bet it's a spike list. No?
I'm not. What do you want from me? Who is it? I was gonna say Dykeman, but there's no way. When?
Oh, I forgot about that in the chat.
When did you do that to Dykeman?
Oh goodness. I always throw bad ideas at him. And Psychic Frog with Hollow One is definitely
pretty
one
cool.
of them.
So yeah, we're looking at this list here. This is going to be a little off from what we're seeing down in the field. John's pointing out, Adam's playing pretty close to Krista's list, new addition to Team Flex Slot, whereas this list here is the Hollow Vine stuff. We're not going to see the stuff like the Venge Vines and so forth, but all these other pieces we are going to see. Cards as possible sideboard pieces. The ones that stand out to me here that I expect Adam to have are cards like Meltdown, Surgical, or Alpine Moon. And Alpine Moon is the one that stands out if you're playing against your E-Tron opponent.
Yeah, and if it's not Alpine Moon, there's sometimes like Blood Moons that we might have in there.
Blood Moon, a Magus, a Molten Rain, a something, right? You got to imagine there's something there.
But here's my question. Is how many Chalice of the Voids do you think is going to be on the battlefield, and how much destruction do we need for those chalices?
So here's the thing. I think if I was playing E-Tron, I want 4 Chalice of the Void in my main deck. It is very good early. It shuts down opponents, and when I have Ugin, it is free spells to cast. So hopefully, for our E-Tron player, he has those chalices, and for the sake of Adam, if he does have some like pretty flexible shatter effects in the sideboard, I'm pretty likely to bring those in.
Is this deck list by Ovenice?
Oh no. Oh no.
Because this might be a Dan Stop deck list.
Yeah, we talking about this Possessed Portal? Or this
I'm just more the 4 Sire of 7 Deaths in the main deck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
no? Okay.
So
dang, too bad. We'll get his list next time.
My buddy Dan ended up making it to the PT. He got 10th at the RC with Eldrazi-tron.
He's on like an 80% tear with E-Tron, right?
Yeah, 77% win rate.
But the thing with those 4 Cyrus 7th deaths, some number of those got to be Ugins now. That's the slot.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's the slot.
Dan was on 4 chalices because of Underworld Breach.
Yes, I still think it's good, though.
I don't think we want 4 of them at this point, but...
But what about Jeskai Ascendancy?
What's that? The unplayable deck that
Hey, you know that card. I heard you registered it lately and everything.
I would register.
As Brandon starting off with a power plant, tossing it back to Adam, immediately street wraith into faithless looting. So if he finds a hollow one, this is a turn 1
I
4/4.
I do see that hollow one chilling in hand.
And discarding Detective's Phoenix and a
Ooh.
Bowmaster. And because it's Bowmaster Street Wraith, he has the amount of evidence needed for the Phoenix. So
Yeah.
this hollow one can get jumping.
I mean, we could also just throw the Necrogoyf on the battlefield and then
And then jump that.
jump
Give it haste.
that. I think that's where I would want to be.
Hey, if anyone's good at crunching the numbers, it's Adam Weiss. All right, I heard this kid's a math teacher and everything. He won something in Dallas.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was, but
So,
right.
I think it's a local event.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. It was only regional.
Oh.
As and an Arena of Glory. He doesn't even need the help. So he's gonna be haste out something here as well.
Ooh. What are you gonna zoom in this turn?
So he's got Dubs Red. Faithless Looting. Okay.
Oh, I get it.
But he's-
Faceless looting.
And then he's
into-
gonna hollow one off the second mana. Because he's making the red, but you don't have to use it on a creature, but any creature that it is used on gains haste.
There were storms preventing people from getting there.
How dare you? Yeah.
Oh, storms were
People got there no problem.
there was some delays.
Well, none of that matters. This boy crushed. As here's the hollow one, number 2, with haste. Arena of Glory, 8 damage. Turn number 2.
That's pretty good.
Brandon, I see you've got your talisman. Do you have the tower? It eluded you last game. It looks to be eluding this time.
And the other scary part is, ooh, I see
There's
8
the
mana.
tower, baby.
Is it Eugene O'Clock?
Well, Eugene won't do nothing. These are 2 colorless creatures. I'm hoping it's O Stone o'clock.
Oh, you're right. You're
But
right.
that's 8 mana. But he's flicking these cards. He's not too happy. Remember, Ugin of either flavor only deals with creatures with 1 or more color. Hollow ones conveniently are 2 4/4 artifact creatures with no color. So it's time for Bandin Legacy Sowing Mycospawn to come on in.
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, this card basically just cycled for a tower.
Yes. Pay 1 green for
Yeah.
3/3?
Pay 1 green for it, and then next turn you get to untap with buckets of mana. This turn still 7 available. Brandon could play Ugin and plus as a gain 3.
Seems good.
It gains 3 draw a card, right?
I would pay 7 life. That's a lightning bolt.
In your Tron deck, you pay 7 mana to do a lot of things.
I also didn't realize how fast Ugin ults.
It's an 11, right? So it's plus boom.
Yeah, plus, and then ultimate.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm just dead.
Here's a Thought Knot Seer. Take a peek at Adam's hand, but also importantly, this is a 4/4 to match up against the 4/4s of the Hollow One. But remember, sneaky, Adam's got that Phoenix still in the yard.
Can we pull up the other art for Ugin with
The
oh, yeah.
the baby version?
Oh yeah, gotta get them big eyes.
Yeah, these eyes are way too small and normal. As
A 13-hour drive and then top 8s. That's impressive and dedicated.
ooh,
Oh, look at them eyes.
those are big. Holy.
Hey,
Oh man.
don't mock those big, beautiful blue eyes.
I'm not. I love borderless cards, but what the heck? And here, Brandon left Adam with a lightning bolt. He must not know him too well. And putting this Phoenix on the big old hollow one, that's 6 damage right there. The bolt in hand, that's an additional 3. 9 damage face up on the table right now. Which means the attack with Adam's second hollow one is a forced block out of Brandon. Does he chump? Does he trade?
That's an interesting call, because do you want to give him a card? It gets him closer to a lightning bolt upstairs.
Right, to the second bolt. Oh, Brandon also with the Devourer of Destinies, same clause. Only blows up cards with 1 or more color, and these hollow ones are just skating right through. Snap block with this Thought Knot Seer. If that's the case, should Brandon double block and give Adam the opportunity to choose the Mycospawn?
I guess. I don't think.
I'm trying to gain every little edge. As another Tron land ripped here for Brandon, so going up to 7, 10, 12, 13 mana. An Emrakul would be sick.
I mean, honestly, Devour isn't bad. We get to exile the Detective's Phoenix.
And it's exiled, right? So that's an important part of that it is banished to the Shadow Realm, and this Devourer can block the Hollow One. So this is a big blocker.
Ooh, we see Mako in hand.
Mako
So
Mako?
Mako Hollow
Mako
One.
Hollow One, okay.
So we aren't doing a whole lot right now on Adam's side.
And both those cards have cycling too, so depending on how desperate Adam feels, he can cycle them.
I mean, the nice part is we can just surveil land here. Ooh,
Ooh,
we
time to
also have Tarfire as an out here.
Time to get a little raucous. Oh.
Ooh, no
Uh-oh.
surveil lands?
Upstairs blast.
All right, that makes sense because now Adam's like, all right, I can
He-
draw a
yeah.
card and then cycle.
It ups his top deck quality, right? You like you said, Tarfire, Bolts, Faithless Looting into Phoenix. Like there's a lot of things that get him through this game. When his opponent's at 2, he's gonna feel a lot safer. And Brandon basically doesn't have access to green mana anymore because the only option was those talismans for getting the Sowing Micro Spawn. That's gonna cost life. And Adam's got him living on the edge.
But is there any difference between 2 life and 1 life?
No, against
So-
Adam, no way.
So that means that we still have 1 activation.
We have one green mana at some point available.
All right.
Brandon, now's the time to draw Emrakul and do some cool stuff.
I'm kind of curious if we just cast the Mako.
If you're Adam, yeah, Adam's shocking. So is it Mako cycle crossfinger?
It also just might be double cycle. Just start digging for the burn piece and be like, all right, I have 4 turns to try and find it before I die.
John makes a huge point. If Brandon goes to 1, the Bowmasters become lethal threats as well.
Oh, true.
So good shout, good thing. Oh, we've cycled through. This arena is untapped again, so now exerting it, flashing back this Faithless Looting, and we're gonna haste up that second Hollow One in hand.
Okay.
And a Phoenix.
Is that lethal? Is that lethal?
Because he got the 1 mana floating. He needs to discard the Hollow One to get enough mana cost in the yard, right?
I think so. Maybe not. There's a lot of cards in there.
Oh.
We'll count together.
Oh, there was one in there already. Yep. Neither of the. Oh wait, does the microphone have reach?
No, I don't think it has that much text.
Oh jeez. And I called it a slobberknock at the beginning. Brandon, I'm so sorry. This Hollow One deck came for blood. So much of the removal in this Tron deck cares about creatures having a color. Adam slamming Hollow One after Hollow One made sure that that was not the case, taking it down 2-0. Sheesh. How's our lovely folks in the backup doing today? Is it? Oh yeah, we got permanents in play.
And are we on game 1 still?
Game 2?
Game 2.
No problem. We can figure this out. So we've got Ryan on the left side playing Eldrazi Tron. We can see we've got them lands out. We got Mystic Forge, some Mind Stones, and Devin on the right side with Orzhov mid-range slamming Tarkir Dragonstorm, Clarion Conqueror here. 3/3 dragon that has Stony Silence plus creatures plus artifacts. Plus creatures, artifacts, and planeswalkers cannot be activated on a 3/3 dragon. Come on.
Honestly, I'm just super excited about this Mystic Forge.
Yes.
Big fan of that card. And we do see 2 Sire 7 Deaths in hand on
Woo.
Ryan's side.
But what are we missing?
Tronland.
That third Tron piece. Yeah. We got the Screaming Man, we got the tower, but no power plant. And we got Thought Not Seer. The hard part, Devin's team right now, full aerial force. Both of the Aven Interrupters fly, the Clarion Conqueror flies, in the hand of Flickerwiss, Solitude, Ketramos. Bro, pick whichever one. I'll kill you with the rest.
Is there a reason we don't cast Sire here? 2, 4, 6, 7 mana we have in play? Wait, is that a monument Forsaken? Oh, man.
That's plotted. So that was countered by the Aven Interrupters.
But we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana with the Sire mana available.
No, because the monument's not in play currently.
No, but there's 2 Mind Stones and there's the Eldrazi Temple, right?
Oh,
So there's 5 land mana and then 2.
Shoot, you're right. Does that thing have reach? It has millions of keywords.
It does.
That one would have been super helpful.
It's got reach, trample, lifelink,
and ward pay 7 life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, which means that once seeing the Solitude in hand, that might be the card that he was playing around, right? understanding that his sire would be dealt with, and at least the Thought Knot gets to snap a card out of the hand, and it did so, taking down that Ketramos.
Oh, it also has Menace and First Strike, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
and Vigilance.
And Vigilance? Okay. Does it also make you a sandwich, or like what else is on there?
I mean, it's got, what, 7 hands on there?
Dude,
Oh, that makes sense.
2 for hugging, 5 for sandwiches. We got this.
That Sire of 7 Deaths is here for everything.
Yeah, here's Flickerwisp, flickering the land that turned into the Witch Enchanter when the front side comes back. Again, I have to emphasize the massive aerial force that is what Devin has in play right now. These cards just do not matter. Everything, and I mean everything, was in the skies, and Ryan's showing all these Sires of 7 Death, just not quite playing them out.
I wonder if Ryan didn't actually have an Eldrazi Temple in play.
Yeah, I wonder if it was some other utility piece that was down there, but I mean, I'm just mostly impressed with the Orzhov deck. I was not the biggest fan of the deck generally, but seeing us come down with Devin having 3 different flyers in the form of Flickerwisp, the Clarion Conqueror, and the Aven Interrupter, those cards look impressive on their own. So if this is a deck that can actually make it all work together, I mean, it kind of makes me want to play Collect a Company.
Don't get baited into that again. That's a Pioneer card.
Come on. Wait, what was that?
That format you were talking about with a bunch of unplayables.
Oh, the one on Arena. Yeah.
The Arena only format.
I remember now. Yeah, but it looked good. The Clarion Conqueror did its job right. It was just making sure that it was a huge, basically just stop sign for a lot of us. Oh, that's why. So the Clarion Conqueror has Stony Silence as one of its abilities, which means Ryan couldn't use his Mind Stones.
Understood.
Right, because on top of it being a 3/3 dragon, it's a Stony Silence, it's a Pithing Needle, shuts down creatures, shuts down artifacts, shuts down planeswalkers. So that's why. Come on, folks. No one even said it in chat. It's A-okay. But that's why it wasn't happening. Couldn't even use the Mind Stone.
Sorry, I wasn't aware of my Tarkir cards yet.
They are cool. They are good, but they beat the snot out of people, it looks like. And for a set that brings us cool dragons, I'm having a blast with Tarkir cards.
Yeah, Tarkir has been a really cool set, especially with Blade Aid. Like the Corey cuts. What is it?
Ooh, Corey Steel Cutter? Yeah, shout out to Corey.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Yo, these two are mind linked over here. Habib in the chat talking about the Steel Cutter the second Chris mentions it.
I think there's a lot of really cool cards in the set for Modern, and that hasn't happened in like Standard in a while. Like there's impact within Standard. Like Bloom Barrel just like
oh my god
was all over Standard.
It has a block sealed deck as one of the best decks in the format for Bloom Barrel.
But what cards did it have for Modern? Right? And no,
in Bloom Barrel? Yeah, right.
But like Slick Shot was in that set, right?
Slick Shot. No, that's Outlaws. Maser, Cowboy.
But that's not Modern though. Like this is the first set where I see like Corey is popping in there.
I've seen Corey Steel Cutter. I've seen Voice of Victory. I've seen Tursa Light Shatter.
That's a good one too.
I've seen Clarion Conqueror. We saw Ugin.
Yeah, Ugin is another one. And then I also have been seeing the teamer makes cards cheaper.
The Battle Crier?
Battle Crier, yes.
Spike was playing with this morning.
Because if you have Teamer Battle Crier, if you have 2 of them to play, it makes all your spells cost 4 less.
4 less, yeah.
So then you're just like, all right, cast Karn and win the game.
Ooh. Because Karn itself is discounted by 4.
Correct.
And then you find out the Clock of Omens nonsense, right?
Ancestral Statue.
Yeah.
Which is also just 4 mana. And then you have Infinite Storm.
Yep.
And then if you have any other spell, you just go grab Aether Flux Reservoir and then play a spell, kill your opponent.
No, you don't even need another spell because the statue on the last thing picks up the Karn. You replay the Karn, find the reservoir, and then you need to trigger the reservoir. I see. Okay.
So you need like 1 extra card. But I saw Spike playing that.
Yep.
He was going on a tear. He had 2 back-to-back like trophy runs.
Okay.
The first one didn't count because Moto crashed.
Oh yeah, the Moto crash. Yeah, I saw that happen today.
I was watching and I was like, oh, just wins again.
It is sick. And important person in chat, shouting out Rakshasa's Bargain, seeing play all the way back to Legacy, right? The fact that it's a card that can trigger beans. They can't do it here in Modern. But
Red beans.
David Garola, we saw him round 1 playing the Asmo food deck. He's kind of our go-to domain player around here. Like he is the guy that if you're an RCQ, he's probably playing domain. And I heard him on day 1 basically throw his stock ups in the trash for Rakshasa's bargain specifically for your domain deck, right? Yeah, stock up is still. Is it $10? I gotta stop by the Nerd Rage Gaming booth real quick. I own like. Oh, do you? We'll
Yeah,
chat. I own like 12. We got this.
I needed 4 of them.
Okay, I'll chat to y'all in collective unit. But the thing that you're saying right about like the impact of Tarkir, I heard. I don't know if it is fully confirmed or kind of whispers on a MagicCon floor, but people were saying that it was one of the first sets where Wizards had designers intentionally doing some things for CDH. So if you think about competitive Commander, this is one of the first sets that have had a lot of cards that stood out to those players. So things like the Voice of Victories and the Mistrise Village and Clarion Conqueror are 3 big cards that stood out to those people
Mhm.
that whether, they have it in their brain or they have confirmation. I don't have confirmation that they had it, but there is something about the way that Tarkir specifically is designed that a lot of these impactful cards that we are talking about are seeing impact across tons of formats. And we're only going to see it keep going. The set's been out for like a week and a half. Like we are
Yeah.
just skimming the surface. Not to talk about standard too, where they're playing like Meringue River Regent. I'm out here playing tons of cards with the word dragon on them. Yeah, again, same thing. Voice of Victories and so forth. The Mistrise Village in standard. Voice of Victory. Tons of people I saw in modern play. There are folks in Boros Energy in their main deck of their modern deck. I saw Voice of Victory and Tersa Light Shatter
In the main?
in the main. Just straight up, someone played it over a Johnny. I was like, "Are you okay?" But
Uh,
people are trying it, right? Which is huge to see because sometimes when sets come out, they just don't have that impact the further back, right? They have an
Yeah.
impact on standard. Maybe someone plays something in Pio. Someone will play it, Spike will play something in modern just to see what happens. But
Yeah.
it's not just him, it's everyone. People are playing these cards. Corey Steelcutter is killing thousands of people per minute. I promise. Like that card is kicking butt out there. So all of that to say that you can stop by nerdragegaming.com, pick up your Tarkir Dragonstorm cards. I mean, why not, right? And again, I'm talking about this wish list. Y'all need to know about the wish list. If there's a card that you want and it's not available, put it on your wish list. You will just get emails at random times that say the card you want is here and you can have it. I'll tell you what, it's that little dopamine hit. If you ever had Pokemon Pocket and every now and again you just open a pack for free and you got to look at cool Pokemon cards, it's the same deal. Nerd Rage just sends you an email that says, "Oh, you really wanted this dragon? Well, it's here. You can have it." All that nerdragegaming.com. Additionally, they got kickback. The longer you're a customer, you start making some of that store credit back. I'm not going to say what number, but the number keeps going up the more that you spend dollary dues around here. That eventually you're buying big mythics and you're getting $3-4 back off that purchase. Well, great. That's perfect dollars to buy those uncommons. Keep rinsing and repeating. Get tons of them Tarkir Dragonstorm cards.
Well, luckily, you can also go to their TCG player site
Ooh,
because I go
ooh,
there
ooh.
for all those foils.
Foils.
And with every new set, we have new foils, and that's what I'm looking for to make my decks nice and blingy, especially those Yogg cards. Just got my skimmers, the
Ooh,
blue-green.
The Kisla Skimmers.
Got to get that card draw. And NRG.tcgplayerpro.com is where you can get that.
Yes.
Some nice, beautiful foils, as well as your Pokemon cards.
Yes, if
your
you're most
Flesh and Bullet cards, and your other unique card games.
Yeah,
Lorcana,
Lorcana, One
ooh.
Piece. If you're like, what? Digimon? Union
Ooh.
Arena?
Oh
Gundam?
my.
Stuff's all coming down the pipelines, baby. And if you're like most Magic players and you use Pokemon cards as your tokens, finding the cool, pretty ones on the TCG Player Pro store, I mean, there's no better way to do it.
But where can you play these cards?
Oh gosh, I hope that it's weeklies, maybe some locals right
Ooh.
here, the Nerd Rage Gaming home store. Check it out. These Wednesday live streams, 6:30 right here, modern. Now Nerd Rage is streaming 3 times a week.
3?
Tuesdays at 6:30, get that Lorcana, get them Disney squares, baby. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thursdays 6:30 Pokemon. We just talked about how good it was. These people are incredible on the Nerd Rage Gaming Pokemon team. Unbelievable. I don't know how to play the game, but I see their results are off the chart, and those folks are either out there playing or in the booth here on Thursdays. Friday, you can stop by. Little Boomer Zoomer night. We'll never forget it. Haviva coined this for Fridays when it's MTG Legacy, MTG Standard, and a little One Piece on the side. The Saturday to Monday flop, Digimon v Digimon, and that Elder Dragon Highlander on Monday. Options on options on options. If you want to play games, Nerd Rage Gaming is one of the best spots to do so in Illinois, Buffalo Grove, baby. Thank you all so much for joining us for round number 2 of our Modern Locals here at NRG. We will be back ASAP. Please don't go anywhere. Bye-bye.
See you later.
The energy at these events is it's really welcoming. You walk in, people know your name. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see.
Vendors, artists, a big tournament, side events.
The NRG Series events are free to enter. You can just walk through the door. The round starts. It's game time. You know, you're friends, but you're competitors.
The pressure's on basically from round 1. You know you're going to be running into quality players.
They're friendly, but they're fierce.
It's a great circuit. It's a lot of fun to play.
I noticed the Witch King was here this time, which was a little bit scary because I put the one ring in my deck. Really had to sort of glance behind my shoulder every time I cast the card to make sure he wasn't about to snatch it, or me.
The vendors here are great. Everyone behind the booth is always really welcoming. They always have a smile on their face.
The events are taking place all over the Midwest. You've got the prize wall now, you've got the command zone. Every single NRG is both a RCQ and a qualifier for their championship series at the end of the year, which is, I have to say, hands down, my favorite experience I've ever had playing Magic.
It's really just a great experience.
The NRG series is coming to a Midwest city near you.
everybody, and welcome back to round number 3 here at the Nerd Rage Gaming Home Store. Weekly, Wednesday night, modern, Buffalo Grove, Illinois, Dom Striker, Chris Smith.
Yo, what up, guys? How are
And,
y'all?
I hope you like lands that produce blue but happen to not be islands, because this is the place for you. Marty on the left side, deceptive name, we belchin', baby. Uh-oh.
So, do you want to talk a little about this Belcher deck? What's it
Okay.
entail?
So the very important part is Belcher, referring to the card Goblin Charbelcher. 4-mana artifact activates for 3. You reveal until you hit a land, and your opponent takes that much damage. If it's a mountain, double it. The point here is using all the MDFCs from MH1, MH2, and MH3, and
Zendikar Rising.
Rising, so that your entire mana base are blue-producing lands, but spells on the front, which means the second that Belcher pops, your opponent takes damage equal number of cards remaining in your library. And now, because it's blue, it is counterspells on counterspells on counterspells and card selection spells. So I asked Marty, how do you feel playing against blue-eye control? And he said, I don't know. I said, do you want to find out on camera or off? And he said, on. So here we are, baby. George starting off with turn 1 Breeding Pool into Preordain, and Marty with my girl, Philagi Archaeologist.
So, here's my question. How do you feel about this matchup?
So I think Marty has more free counter magic, but George's ways to get to his end game seem like they're really problematic for Belcher. Things like the Orum's Chance, if he ever sets up the lock. There might even be situations that if he gets Teferi in play, that's really hard for Belcher to protect its win and get its mana under it. So I think it's kind of bad for Belcher, but they can definitely kind of oopsie with a really powerful hand.
Yeah, I kind of have the similar feel on it.
Yeah.
Because you need to have your Lotus Bloom in order to be able to kill on turn 3.
Yeah.
But then you're risking George having a Teferi, and then that just makes it so it can't get cast. I do think that there's enough interaction in Martin's deck that you just go turn 4, play a 4-mana Belcher, have 1 or 2 counterspells back up, and see what happens.
Yeah, so we're seeing it play out here, just what you were saying. This Lotus Bloom being suspended, the important part is if a Teferi Time Raveler is in play when this card comes off suspend, Marty cannot cast it because it's going to be considered at instant speed, which is going to stop it. If Marty can find a way to either deal with a Teferi, for a Teferi not to be there, then that's A-okay. Even if the card finds its way into the graveyard for your Lotus Bloom, that's all right. That's get you that Tameshi nonsense. But if the Teferi is in play, the Bloom is going to get stuck in exile, being unable to be cast at all. So that's going to be an important piece. The other thing is this creature engine into Flare of Denial. So we saw Marty grab this. You see the Flare of Denial face up in front of him. With the Philagi, remember the alternate on this is if you sack a non-token blue creature, you get this counterspell for free. And the Philagi found it to begin with. So we know we have that blue creature.
Yeah, and the other thing I see is that Wear of Invention, where we go 3 blue, X, and if you just cast it as X equals 0, it allows you to just go get another Lotus
Go
Bloom
get
out of
Black
your deck.
Lotus? You get Black Lotus then, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Black Lotus.
And you can see it on your screen. That's most likely going to be the play pattern is Martin's going to go cast that Wear of Invention, go get a Lotus Bloom, and then just put the Goblin Charbelcher on the stack and see what happens. I don't see a 2-mana spell in hand at the moment.
Whoa.
Ooh, I like this aggressive prismatic ending.
Look at the cheese on George right here, going for the 2-mana prismatic ending on the Philagi, knowing that that's going to shut down Marty's Flare. So this now forces Marty to go for the War of Invention right now in George's main phase. So the counter war gets to happen here instead of on George's end step, which I think this is probably a better timing for George.
Yeah, I agree with that. I honestly don't think George would counter it. Just because you want to have your counter magic for the Belcher.
For the Belcher, for the Tameshi, for whatever is the actual big piece, right? And what's nice for George is typically in a blue v blue matchup, your Solitudes can feel kind of bad, but it's a pretty good answer to Tameshi or any of these creatures that are sitting around, which allows George to remain having a text box on his cards.
Yeah, and another thing to know is I don't think George plays Steam Vents, so we're not going to be able to get Prismatic Ending X equals 4 for the Belcher this turn. So there's a chance that Martin's just going to slam a Belcher, and if George has a counterspell, we're going to just cast a Flare.
Oh, and here's the Tameshi. Are you good at
Ooh.
Tameshi math?
A little bit.
And Marty has a face-up of the blue-white flip land, so he has access to white mana to start things if needed.
Yeah, because we have a lot of mana here. Just being able to get Lotus Bloom, which is going to be 3 mana, and then each time we're going to net 2 mana on top of it. So
Yeah,
then,
kind of the simple way to explain is the loop basically nets 2 mana per loop, right?
yes.
But here is a counterspell in response to the Tameshi. Marty cracking his Lotus to gain the 3 blue to hard cast the Flare on the counterspell.
And the other nice part is George's other like counterspell that he might have here is going to be a Force of Negation, which I did see a Disrupting Shoal in hand, and I don't know if there's a 3-drop there, but
Oh.
it's a gambling.
These boys are these guys, longtime friends. They're cheesing it up, enjoying what they like most, which is probably these blue v blue matchups.
What are those lands? Are you
Good
referring
question.
to the
Oh, that's just Belcher. Right? You meant those?
I think we were talking about the ugly lands on the other side, next to the beautiful borderless ones.
Marty, in fact, did have a 3 to go with the Disrupting Shoal. Allowed him to interact here, and the last card standing is this Tameshi in play.
And there we go. We're starting it off with the chain. We got Lotus Bloom, so that's going to be 3 mana. Then we get to crack it for white. That's going to make it up to it's a secret layer.
Yeah, it
yeah.
sure is.
So we go down to 2. We go up to 5, down to 4. So it's going to be, let's see here, 2, 4, 6. I believe we're going to be at 7 mana, which is going to allow us to Belcher.
That's Belcher plus Belch, right? So do you think George is holding last card Force?
I don't think this Tameshi would have resolved if the last card was Force.
Well, Force can't counter Tameshi, though.
No,
The
but
Force of Negation,
it would have
right?
countered the counterspell that was countering the Tameshi.
Here's 9 mana floating. Here's the Belcher. Here's the card scooped up. And okay, we were talking this could be rough for the Belcher deck. Where I think it's about to get rough is I don't think anybody brings a blue deck without 3 to 4 consigned memory in the sideboard. And that card sure can target Belcher for once.
It really can. Notably, I don't know if you saw the NRG champs, but
seen
consigned
it.
to memory does not counter the trigger. It can only counter the Belcher on the stack. So something that we might see is just Word of Invention for the Belcher.
I thought it was the reverse. I thought it can counter the trigger.
No. It can counter the Belcher itself.
Oh. You can Tidebinder the trigger, right?
You can Tidebinder. That card is sweet.
Interesting.
What's up, Corey? Welcome to chat. Hopefully you're
Woo!
enjoying the show. We got some nice modern action. And now we get to see Belcher action.
Okay, the Belcher question. Mountain in the sideboard or no mountain in the sideboard?
Yes.
Ooh.
You should always have mountain in the sideboard because there's so many random Besejus.
Beseju.
There's people that might register Field of Ruin.
Field of Ruin, yeah. I
Um,
have seen Path of Exile recently. Not that you'd bring it in against Belcher, but it's free-ish. You need it to not be in your top
10 cards.
opponent's life total times 2, right? So if they fetch shock a little, hope it's not in the top few. But the thing is these matchup, these two players back and forth, this is bringing all of your good counter magic, cut all your cards that don't do something, right? So when you're seeing a stern scolding here, it's like, well, that's probably got to go for something a little more text on it. George might have access to things like a March of Otherworldly Light, some more ways to interact with the Belcher itself, but I think we're going to battle, and the battle's going to happen on the stack for these players.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially with this Flusterstorm. I think that's going to be a key card here. Just being able to replicate, it makes it so like other counter spells are really awkward. My question is, do you ever bring in any copies of Consigned to Memory for the Isochron Scepter stuff?
Oh boy.
I would say no.
Right. I fear as every day goes by, Consigned to Memory starts to get the surgical extraction problem of anybody can convince themselves to bring it in any matchup. And Consigned's starting to do that too. It's like, well, there's this trigger, and then there's this card. Like, it'll probably be fine. I don't think so. It's just you're not gonna get what you want out of George, and George is probably chopping some solitudes and the other cards with triggers, and that's just not the game that Marty wants to play, and that's not the pieces he wants to fight over. Especially because the Ice Crown Scepter itself is a CMC 2. That is the card that is the mana value that is easiest for Belcher because it's tons of 2s to go with this Disrupting Shoal. So if George is trying to put his A+B for the Scepter lock to happen, Marty should hopefully have the most available 2s for answering that.
Mhm.
I might be a little bit more scared of George putting Narset Daze together because the 3s are harder to deal with.
I could see that, especially because we have all the 2-drop creatures, and then we also have what's that 1 blue counter CMC 2 spell?
Spell Snare.
Spell Snare. Thank you.
And in Marty's actual flip lands, there's the Bayene Veil, so the 1 blue card that has a text box, but I don't know it. And the Disrupting Shoals, the second copy is an X blue, which makes it a 2. So if you pitch Shoal to Shoal, that's exactly to get you at that 2 mana mark.
I think the Veil just gives your opponent's creatures -1, -0.
I think so too. So they played it a little safe with some of the Zendikar flips, but sure not with the MH ones.
I think the blue the Veil is mainly there for the Boros matchup.
Yeah. And it's there because it costs 2, right?
Yeah.
I've specifically seen players play other cards, other versions in that slot, and then come back down to playing the card that costs 2 mana, because all of this part we're talking about Disrupting Shoal is all a part of the Belcher machine.
All right, let's see if we can spot some cards. We see Thunder Trap Trainer, some lands, and I saw Force
Hydroelectric
Negation.
Specimen on the flip ski here.
Big fan of that card. Do you know what the front part of that card does?
I do. It's a Mizzy Meddler.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna reference a card with another card. It's a redirect. Yeah. It's the gatekeepy thing. I'm so sorry. Reference a card with another card. Yeah, it's so hard not to do. As good old Flooded Strand comes on down here for George, Marty's hand, I see Seagate Restoration. I was hearing whispers of his last match. He straight up cast that and drew 7 cards.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Not bad, not bad.
Usually you only see that when you start Tameshi looping people.
Ooh, yeah, because you have tons of mana to work with, but maybe need to dig.
Yeah, just draw 7 cards and then be able to just find another Belcher.
And here's the Trap Man, Thunder Trap Trainer.
Yep.
Or what is it? Thunderclap. Ooh. Oh.
And we see
Actually, in this same vein, Haviva, our lovely director here, talking about stock up being a divination. You're not wrong. Magic card reference magic card, but no stock ups in Belcher, which shocks me. It seems like a Belcher thing to do.
I just am more. I don't think there's enough slots for the deck because
It's pretty specific with each slot that it uses.
yeah, because you have your trainers that are there to dig for more cards. So you have 8 copies of trainer / archaeologist. You also have your 8 free counter spells. So that puts you at 16. So then you have, let's see here, 4 Word of Invention as extra tutors for your Goblin Charbelcher. Maybe I'm trying to figure out what card we can cut here.
Lock Assembled. So George led on Orm's Chant here. Marty let it resolve. Now, unimpeded, George slams combo, Ice Crown Scepter with an Orange Chant under it. This is the turn that Marty needs to interact with this before it straight up locks him out of this game.
So the thing about it is it won't lock him out because he does have different counter magic.
And Word Invention, a card you can do at instant speed. But it's going to get a lot harder.
It does get harder.
And this Thunder Trap beats.
We got the beat down.
Beats by Thunder Trap. Or sorry, Thunderclap.
Thunderclap. Yup.
Called by its real name. Its government, Thunderclap. Oh yeah, read it again.
So now we just got to figure out how are we going to be able to not necessarily stabilize, but just make sure we hit our land drops for as long as possible to be able to eventually counter the Orange Chant and then just win the game.
Oh, right. Counter the card off the Scepter and then continue through the turn. I was trying to think of any bounce that Marty could have access to.
Sink into Stupor.
Sink into Super, and I think Into the Flood Maw is also in the sideboard, so thinking about ways that we can bounce this Scepter. And I think if I was Marty, I'd bring in Flood Maw because it's either you get Scepter locked or the Planeswalker lock, and the Into the Flood Maw interacts with both of those, so
yeah,
it feels like a card that could have came in here.
I'm just trying to figure out. We just need to hit our land drops here. And I
Mm,
think I saw Martin have a sink into hand and decide not to cast it or not to play it as land.
oh, smart. So he's utilizing it as a spell, and now we got trap beats here. We got 2 Thunder Trap trainers. That's 2 damage a turn, baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are secret layer lands.
Everyone, I'm so sorry. Yes, that's an island. I swear. Source, trust me, bro. Like, they are the brain dead secret layer island, and George is nothing but a showman. So thank you all for the comments and the appreciation.
like I love like George's like card choice, the beautiful fetches, the beautiful surveil, like borderless. You have the borderless preordains orange chant, and then he chooses those basics.
Yeah, it completes the set.
I think I'd rather him have Fortnite basics.
They would look pretty cool.
It looks so much better than whatever this is.
Somebody get George the Dragon Eyes, please. Here's the sink into stupor. This is the hard part, right? Had to go for it on his own turn, which means that George has Force of Negation active. He's going to be able to cash this in here on this sink into stupor.
I'm just interested on why we did it on like our own turn. 'Cause
I agree.
I would be interested in seeing like this sink on George's turn. That way we have our own Force of Negation available for us. And right now Martin's just trying to figure out what card do I want to show George that I have.
Yeah, I think he's going for Shoal Pitch Tameshi to deal with that force. And it works. And that card gets bounced. And now right there and there.
We can play the game again.
Oh, Marty did in his upkeep, it looks like. So, sorry, misunderstood there. We see the 3-mana tapped. Beats by Thunder Trap and the Lotus down to 1. Preordain incoming.
Yeah.
Woo-wee, okay.
Got to get that card selection. We see Word of Invention in hand. I saw Force, and I don't know what the other card is.
Oh.
But there's not a whole lot going on. I think our main game plan here. Oh, never mind. There's a Commentated Belcher.
Oh. I know the main game plan.
I found the game plan.
The main game plan is bleh, get him. Now the hard part is it looks like it's supported by a Force of Negation. Will not work on Marty's own turn, but is backed by a Flare with 2 Thunder Traps as sacrifice fodder. Okay.
I mean, the other thing is we can also just go to George's turn and then just cast the Word of Invention, which is going to get us another Lotus Bloom,
Ooh.
which is now going to allow us to have Belcher with double Lotus Bloom, because I think I saw
Here we go.
a
Here's the
land
word.
in hand too.
So Marty is trying to get just as much mana as possible so he can hard cast his counter magic and fight back with his own Belcher.
Because like the biggest thing to note is George has 3 lands. He's
Ooh.
missed 2 land drops in a row.
Yeah, the stumble, of course.
And the best thing you can do is just keep applying that pressure on the lands, the mana, and just saying, I'm going to force you to have this, and then I'm going to force you to have it again.
Yes. I imagine George's opening hand was pretty close to 2 lands, 2 chance, scepter, and a preordain. He goes, yeah, this is it, right? This is the hand for this deck. Marty was able to interact there on turn 3 with the sink and a stupor. And now we're in the mid game and we're seeing if we get punished for these actions. Lots of mana out of Marty, like you were saying. 6 off these Lotuses, 3 off his actual mana sources. The Belcher plus activate itself takes up 7 of that. So a little bit extra mana to work with. Here's them trap beats, getting in there, 2 damage.
And honestly, I'm kind of curious if there's ever a world where we play the tap land that's in Martin's hand and just hardcast this hydroelectric specimen and just start beating
It's a
down.
1/4 flash, right?
It's a 1/4 flash creature.
I mean, that's a 4-turn clock with our Thunder Traps, and here we look.
Yeah, like we already said it earlier. There's a good chance George doesn't really have that many, that much removal in the deck. Like, you're taking out the Solitude.
Sorry, Marty's casting Salundi Visions. Oh yeah, baby.
Okay.
I don't think this can grab Belcher though, right? I think it grabs instant and sorcery.
Correct, but that's gonna allow us to grab a 4th land here. We can grab that Seagate Restoration,
Ooh.
which is gonna allow us to do the Belcher. But I still really like the idea of just hard casting our,
changing plans on George, right?
Yeah.
Putting a creature into play and going, what if I ride this plan for a couple of turns, make you deal with that, and then unlock my Belcher plan?
especially like we can do that when George has like little amounts of mana. Just applying pressure the ways we can.
I do think that if Marty had cast the Hydroelectric that turn, it speeds up this clock by a whole turn, right? Makes it a 4-turn instead of a 5-turn. But he is still kind of engaging in that plan that you're saying of beat down a clock first, figure it out later.
I mean, I'm okay with reveal because that means I get to take a look at what's
Yeah,
going
much
on.
easier for us.
And it's also kind of cool to be able to see like what would we have done?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Get that nice insight. But right now, like Martin's getting ready to go. I think next turn is the turn we like actually go for it. We
Yeah.
have the Force, we have Flare, we have Shoal. I think the only thing we need right now is like a 2-drop to be able to counter a counter spell. But even then, I don't.
And he has the Specimen. How much can Specimen redirect? Can it like move from a counterspell to another counterspell, or is it only targeted things?
It can only redirect it to itself.
Oh, okay. So counter magic not applicable for that.
Correct. Unfortunately, I found out the hard way because you can't redirect.
Learning the hard way. That is the special of the boys in the booth here. We learn things the hard way around here.
Why would I read my cards when I could just test them out and realize it doesn't work how I think it does?
Yeah, when Moto just won't let you click on it. Yeah.
It's the only time to learn.
All right, Marty has cracked one of these lotuses.
Ooh.
Dang. Big call out in chat saying this match was over the moment George missed a land drop. I mean, you might be true, and here's a counterspell. Here's a flare. Oh, here it comes. Oh, baby, we're trying to belch.
We got one more counter spell left on Martin's side. Oh, and we're going for it.
Blast.
There's the last.
Wait, I hope Marty brought in the... No. You got to force him to reveal, because if he brought in the mountain, he could miss. I'm
Reveal
no joke.
top 2 cards.
The top 2, yeah. It needs to, not be in the top 5 if he brought that mountain in. But scooping him up here, we were not expecting this. We thought this would be a difficult match for the Belcher deck. But Marty kind of systematically took him apart. George missed some land drops, but Marty really assembled those beats, found the right turn, the right amount of mana, the right fight back, went for it, and was rewarded. 2 games to 0, mono blue Belcher. Marty, congratulations. Going on to the finals here at the NRG Locals. And, we got to check out this backup.
Whoa, what's going on? I see Cutter.
Hey. Is this the Ascendancy deck?
No.
Or do you think it is? I see Jeskai, I see some Mambers and some Mopuls and a Corey Steel Cutter. We got Devin on the left side here, the Orzhov Blink deck. And on the right side, are we unlocking something here?
Honestly,
the Conqueror. The Clarion Conqueror.
all right.
That card is looking sweet. Here we go. We're just checking. Perfect. We're just scooting everything over. Beautiful. That's perfect. Thank you, folks. We are ready to rock and roll. My first request while our players are taking so many game actions, I would like to see a baby Clarion Conqueror, please. Show me the backside of this twisted dragon. Very important. Again, this card is artifacts. Creatures and planeswalkers cannot be activated. But remember, the Corey Steel Cutter, that's a trigger. So this slow generation of monks can still happen. But that mana, the Soul Guide, the Tameo, these are pieces currently shut off. Artifacts, creatures, and walkers from the big old Clarion Conqueror. All right. I mean, I'm excited. This Jeskai deck we joked about feels like minutes ago. And here it is, 2-0 here at our locals. But this Orzhov deck trying to take it apart. We shall see. Looks like Ketchamos and Felia face up as well for cards in Devin Slater's hand.
I'm just really curious. Is it actually Ascendancy? Or are we just playing like a good mid-range deck? Because like Corey Steel Cutter, like
just good, right?
Really good. And I know Andres is usually playing some form of affinity. So I'm kind of curious if there's like maybe some like Kappa Cannoneers or something else going on in here.
Yo, Kappa in this would be cool. Yeah, Andres, one of our players around here who was also on that Breach train. We were talking about David earlier. We basically had 2.5-ish players around here rocking Breach. Andres is one of them, what makes me think that this is a deck trying to take a lot of game actions, and no better way than that Ascendancy deck. But here are these pumped up monks. Here's a portable hold. Did it target nothing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a spell. Triggers prowess.
Hey, do what you gotta do. Get in there, rumble with these monks.
Yeah, I mean, we have what is a pile of 4/4s right now? That's a good amount of damage.
Okay.
I can't tell if it's 3/3s or 4/4s. I think it's 3/3s.
We cast Portable Hole, Might, and Soul Guide. I do think it is 3, right?
Okay, you're right. So it's a pile of 3/3s. So right now going to 2 life.
Yeah, and very importantly, the blocker that Devin has is his Stony Silence creature, right? So he's not incentivized to block with this. He needs it to participate in this game.
Ooh, and Devin has Wrath of Skies.
X equals 1.
The key part is we still have a
Corey,
cutter.
yeah, time for Corey to go to work.
It's time for us to just cast 2 spells.
Shout out to Nerd Rage Gaming's own Corey, getting
Uh,
tons of shout outs on Magic cards in this
Does
set.
yeah, there we go.
What's
good,
up?
We're good. I just saw the Tamio getting moved, and I was like, wait, we still keep that.
Because she's a Planeswalker, which is not a piece listed on here, but the Steel Cutter.
All right, so the question is, are we able to chain together enough spells to get through this bird?
Now, remind me, the Steel Cutter gives it +1/+1 haste trample.
Correct.
Wizards.
And
Wizards, we gotta talk about.
And a prowess creature.
Yeah. Wizards, we gotta talk about this. You can't give it 2 keywords. 2? Trample and haste?
And prowess.
Yeah.
You got to get the prowess.
I do agree with, a lot of folks love to complain on the internet, but I do kind of agree that Wizards got to be careful putting trample on this cheap stuff. Because, that's one of the big pieces of the engine as mana tap here, Wear Tear, taking down the Overlord, spell 1.
All right.
Talking
Oh,
about
no spell 2 here.
Okay, interesting. Didn't hold it to try to flurry.
So, yeah, now we just have tear.
Wear Tear of your own. Take down the Urza Saga.
I'm just curious what's in Andre's hand. Like, is 3 mana not enough for whatever it is?
Are they
And-
things just not worth casting yet?
And the next question is, does Devin just get in there, start attacking either A or
Dude, he's at
Tamio?
2. He's at 2.
Yeah, but we have a Felia. That blocks.
Dang, Doomblade mode, flash it in as a blocker. Portable Hold, Cutter, Emery
Ooh,
Cutter,
Emery. Okay.
Flurry. 2, 3, 4. Whoa, Whip Flare. Okay. And tossing it back, not getting in there. Here's the Felia. Okay. Devin's clawing in.
Yeah, and the big part here is Felia is able to just attack for free, be able to
and
flicker out
the monk.
the monk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that can allow Devin to kind of keep parts of this Corey Steel Cutter at bay. And what's that in hand? Another Witter?
Yeah, but we don't have the red.
Oh, we don't. We can't tear. We can only wear.
We can only wear.
There must be a red source, right? Devin must be able to fetch for a Sacred Foundry or something if he needs to.
Tamio doesn't do anything right now because of the creature in play. I can't remember what
The
it's called.
Clarion
The Clarion.
Conqueror says that Planeswalkers, artifacts, and creatures cannot be activated. So you are correct that Andres has missed it twice because he just plain can't.
And that also means that this Emery isn't going to be able to start doing things.
Oh, geez, right. And Devin doing my favorite thing, which is using this Overlord to find an MDFC creature so that you can keep finding your land drops and now flickering it out with the Felia. Does not care about the monk blocker, cares much more about flickering this Overlord.
And
with the Tamio, bonk.
do we know who won game 1 or is this game 1? Okay.
We know this is game 2. We'll have to read the vibes post game, which is a fun game to play, so don't mind me. As Devin picking Ophelia up out of the yard, which makes sense why he rumbled in with Ophelia. He knew that if he wanted to, off the trigger, he could get one back from the yard, even the one that blocked if he wanted.
Did you see the 4 cards that we milled?
Was it all bangers?
It was Fatal Push, land, land, land.
All right, yeah, clear those. Sounds good.
I think we kind of want that Blood Crypt.
Oh, the Crypt was one of the lands?
Crypt was one of those lands,
Oh.
my bad.
I wonder. So, I mean, I don't mean to speak plainly. Devin's smart. So if we're adding red on this part of Wear Tear, what else are we doing with the color? Is it nothing? Is it something? There's got to be more to gain than just playing Wear Tear, right?
There's a chance that we're also playing Prismatic Ending, which unlocks
Ooh.
ending X equals 3.
I love, which helps you deal with opposing Ketramoses. Okay.
Because I think that when you add in a third color to a deck like this, you want your spells to still be castable without the red, because you're only gonna play like one copy of a red source or 2 copies that you can get with
Yeah.
your fetch lands.
I imagine Sacred Foundry Blood Crypt, right?
Yeah.
Probably where the red splash is.
And honestly, you might not even have like the Sacred Foundry. You might just have a Blood Crypt.
Yes.
Um,
Especially if it's just Wear Tear.
and I think that's the big thing is you might just have Wear Tear, and you might also just add in the Prismatic Ending because
Yeah.
you can still cast it.
Devin wanted access to the card Exile. Played Wear Tear because it just has more text just in case. Sure, dog, I get it.
Hey, it's a 2-for-1. This deck is full of them.
Oh, that's all this Orzhov deck is. It is just 2-for-1ing until your opponent gives up or you do.
Also, just referring back to that basic mountain, there's also White Phantom Orchid that
Oh,
will
yeah.
also get us that mountain.
We were talking about in Belcher. Why would you need the mountain? White Orchid is huge. I love land destructing a Belcher opponent. Just like it makes it so difficult for them if they just literally have nothing to work with.
Honestly, when I played Belcher, I also played a basic mountain, just because you never know when someone's gonna do that to you.
And most of the time when you activate Belcher, no one's gonna make you flip.
Exactly. You
Yep.
just go, all right,
Activate.
activate Belcher,
They
and
go,
then
yeah.
you're like, okay.
As here's the Bogart Trawler, importantly exiling all of Andres' graveyard. So if that was an important resource, which we see in Emery, so it must have been, those are all gone. And I still want to know if there's a Jeskai Ascendancy in here somewhere. I want to see it. Is it in there? Andres, please. Here's a Flicker Wisp back for Devin Slater. Catcher Wisp, Felia. Flicker Wisp, face up. Andres scooping him. This looks like someone who this is a game 1 I won scoop, right? Look at that. Look at the determination.
Yeah.
This is G3.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Going straight for the
Back to the
sideboard.
board? Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go. We get another game.
This is going to be huge because, unfortunately, and I truly mean this unfortunately, Devin is convincing me to want to play this black-white deck.
Please don't.
This can't be right, right?
No.
We want this to be true.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because every card that we have seen up here, we've seen in play, but except the Ascendancy, we are assuming that this must be what the boy's on, right? This has got to be it. We've seen literally all of these cards except the Ascendancy.
And I honestly am starting to
Yeah.
be a believer in Ascendancy.
Yeah, and we saw the Whip Flare, right? That was a card out of the sideboard. We saw both players having Wear Tears, so I think our player is playing pretty close to this list. Oh, and that would make sense why Devin boarded in the Wear Tear. It's got to be for the Ascendancies, right? He can cast Wear, but he can't cast Tear. Well, the only good enchantment is the Ascendancy.
Well, we did see the red source, so we can cast Tear.
Right, but generally speaking on
I understand
why
that.
won't bring in the Wear Tear, he used it to deal with a Saga, but I bet there's an Ascendancy lurking. Oh yeah, we're peeking in.
We
Folks.
see exercise there.
I'm a big exercise fan. I like that. I love exercise.
Well, no, he kept it too close to the chest.
Hey, Andres,
Alright.
flail it out a little for us. Little flurry, please.
Oh,
Flame
I see
Venor? Okay,
flame.
come on. These are even more of the cards in here. There's Tamio. Oh, yeah, we're going. Boom, 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 boom. Urza Saga, Whip Flare. Whoa. Hey, Andres, flay it out. Come on. It's okay.
no!
Oh. We'll spot it. We'll see it.
This is too much suspense for me. I just want to know.
Man, if Andres goes just like turn 2 Ascendancy and just starts churning like butter through the deck, it's gonna feel like Kanza Tarkir standard all over again. Show me Stoke the Flames. Come on.
I hope you know that I really want to play this deck now.
You already wanted to. You just wouldn't admit it to yourself.
Well, so the best part is my buddy said, "Have you seen Jeskai Ascendancy?" As soon as Breach got banned, before Corey, I go, I don't think it's like that great. I see Corey in there. I'm like, never mind. I'm sold. I'm set. Give me this deck.
All right, you got Mox Opals?
Father help.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that was an important question to ask.
I mean, they're sitting right next to my playset of Green Sun units that I don't own.
Yeah, samesies. But don't worry, I own 4 Twin.
What's that card do?
I bought the important cards from the ban. I swear. Oh baby, yes, Devin. I saw him at the RCQ this weekend. He's playing this Orzhov deck. He's rocking it here. I think somebody's looking to queue for an RC.
I think the other thing is like Slater is a big fan of like Legacy, and this is the closest to like a Legacy-esque
Yeah,
deck.
it's not D&D. It is not D&T, but it's
It's honestly better.
it
like-
also does the Felia Flicker Bogart Trawler,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's got 12, 16, 20 overlap cards, but it is very different. This is just the fanciest Flicker deck to ever Flicker deck.
And like the only thing is like I think this would be just better if like Wasteland wasn't a card. Like
Wasn't?
for legacy wise.
Oh,
like,
I understand. Okay.
this is kind of what they're doing.
Ooh.
Woo!
Corey into Tormod's Crypt, bash.
I looked away for a second. We're already crashing on in.
Corey into Tormod's Crypt, bash.
You know what I want to see right now? Jeskai Ascendancy, please. Oh, we took it on the life total pad, but not on the.
I think both players are at different life totals than currently indicated.
Interesting.
I believe Andre should be at 17 and Devin should be at 18.
Would you like to?
Well, Devin has himself at 18 and Andres on the life pad has 17. So those are the confirmed life totals of these players. Just both aren't keeping track for the other.
All right, there we go. We got
Perfect.
our phone
Teamwork.
updated.
I keep thinking we're dealing more damage with this dang Tameo. Tameo is the most awkward card that it's an attack trigger. You're like, attack trigger, and they're like, no block check. Yeah, of course. Okay, second
take
main
zero.
phase. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, but you are also notorious for attacking with Grazer.
Oh yeah. Oh,
What's the difference?
get the beats, baby.
But Tameo beats aren't a thing?
Yeah, at least Tameo has a trigger, huh? That's the Orc Army. Yeah, Inkling Customs. Get them customs. Oh yeah, got this Orc Army here. Look at it. It's cooking up something nice there. Look at that meat honk. A chunk of meat there. You see that? That freaking haunch. Y'all ain't ever heard of a haunch? That's that big meaty part on the back of the beast. And look at him grilling it up there. Shout out to that Orc Army. Beautiful, beautiful. I believe there is also, I think it's an Orc Army token of Devin doing like cool flips on a skateboard because he looks like Tony Hawk.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think they have more of these custom tokens, and one is him on a skateboard.
That's awesome. I got to see if I can get a hold of one of these to take a look at.
Yeah, and folks should get these customs done from England. They're rad. They're like, one, they're really cool gifts. But two, if you have something that's pretty like that you do a lot in a game, like tracking Storm, making an Orc Army, something you find yourself doing a lot, getting a custom token like this from England, super sick to really just put kind of your own flair on something you're doing.
Yeah, I ended up getting one as an Among Us character,
Ooh.
and it's the suspect
Whoa.
token.
This is Flame of Anor to destroy the Clarion Conqueror, and it must be draw two. Sorry, you're talking about getting an Among Us token?
Yeah,
For
that's my
what?
suspect token.
Sure. I use a lot of Suspect, or were you playing Transmog?
No, I was playing mono red, and I had Frantic Scapegoat in my deck.
Of course, you had the Scapegoat. Of course. What was I thinking?
Exactly, it's crazy.
My bad.
Have you ever had a suspected?
I haven't.
Nope.
I just haven't. I promise.
A menace. Ooh,
Ooh.
Cryptic Coat. I like that card a lot.
I love
too.
Crypticoat. It does not have Suspect, though, unfortunately. It has the other. It has
It's got
Disguise. Cloak.
Disguise.
It is. It has Cloak. Makes a mysterious creature. Suspect is the menace can't block. The other thing out of murders at insert manor here.
Insert manner here.
Well, it's not Tarkov or not Markov. It's Karlov, but people will say all of them. And Andres, I haven't seen a single freaking ascendancy out of you, young man. And
I'm getting kind of sad here because I also see Devin with the Rat Disguise in hand.
not the rat of the skies.
I'm just trying to see a Jeskai Ascendancy do something here.
Now's the turn. Devin can't do anything about it. It's freaking go time, my dude.
Ooh.
And no legend for the Mox Amber currently.
Yeah, because Solitude exiled the Tameo.
Okay, using the Spire, giving a spear to this monk.
Ooh, put more keywords on it. We got double trample now.
Trample, lifelink.
Ooh, I wonder if
Prowess.
we have like an Unholy Heat or something in hand to prowess the monk up anymore.
Or Bolt. Yeah, Unholy Heat be a good one. Maybe a Galvanic Blast. Orc Army blocking mode. This is the classic Devin of just the hand that goes, yep. Gets the flare like this is what it is. Block, trades, takes it. This is the important part about Corey Steel Cutter. If Andres triggers the cutter next turn, all he lost was the token as a result of the card he had already played, right?
Yeah.
Devin, though the same boat, loses the Orc Army, just loses the token that is a result of a card he's already played, right? So both players kind of trading superfluous resources off, but the important part is the skies are wrathful. Tormod's Crypt, get that out of here.
I mean, and once again, wait,
And
do
there
we
they
have
go.
an energy? Okay. But once again, our Corey Cutter is sticking around
Ooh.
because Devin misses a land drop.
There goes that saga. Don't forget that one as you see that go away too. And the last remaining soldier is a 1/1 Bowmaster and a Corey Steel Cutter. In what is honestly one of my favorite alt arts ever, these like con blackouts are so sick. It does look like a creature. That is a big complaint a lot of folks have seen. They thought it was a creature, but it sure isn't.
What?
Ooh, what?
Is that Dogcast?
Yo,
That's a
yo,
nice art.
yo. Okay, are you playing? I don't think you're playing Ascendancy now.
I told you we might see a Kappa Cannon here.
Dude, I don't know what's happening anymore, but holy cow. From the drift. Okay, and here's an Emery. Oh boy. I still
Let's go!
Dude,
Who's right?
Dude, get this kid out of here. I can't believe this.
Let's go, Kappa Cannon here.
Oh my well, it's in the yard. It's in the yard.
Hey, you know what's
but
cool?
holy being correct.
We can cast the Kappa Cannon here
Oh,
and then
the Emery.
equip the.
Holy cow.
An interesting fact.
And then equip the cutter? Do haste?
If I remember correctly, Graph Digger's Cage does not stop it because it's not entering the battlefield from the
It
graveyard.
gets cast, yeah.
It goes to the stack and then comes in.
Correct. Yeah.
And then we could pay 2 mana to equip it. Haste.
Yeah, it doesn't enter from the graveyard because it gets cast and then comes into play. Whereas if you reanimate it, it goes straight from A to B. Well, we cutting. Just like the kids in the lunch line at school that you didn't like, we are cutting.
Oh my gosh.
Just like when you walked up to the front of the line, your friend was standing there, and you just started standing next to them. We are cutting.
Oh no, we missed the trigger.
Which the make
The
a
Corey.
bro?
Yeah,
Whoa.
we did not make a friend,
Dang.
but
Dang.
we still have the Kappa Cannon here, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. The fact that it is. So there are currently 2 artifacts that can be. And the Corey Steel card being tapped for improvise and then equipped too, using as much of the proverbial buffalo as you can. Okay.
But the question is, are we casting the Kappa Cannon here, or are we just gonna be Urza Sagging, or activating the Saga?
That's a good point, right? Does Andres want to get all of the resources out of the saga, or does he want to use Emery Kappa while it's available?
Because like, you also don't want to overload your load your board
Don't overload your board.
for Rat the Skies to just blow you out again.
Right. It's already happened once. We don't need it to happen again.
And it happened last game. And we can just like play Kappa. It doesn't like die to anything.
Here's an
'cause-
ephemerate on the Bowmaster, which feels kind of low impact, but sure.
Oh, it gets the revolt, so we can't.
To fatal push the Emery, which means Kappa is no longer available. Now I definitely think Andres is going to make some constructs.
I
Something in
agree.
my bones says they're making constructs now.
Ooh, we're gonna make a lot of constructs.
Hey, Devin, don't draw Wrath of the Skies right here. If you draw it right here, it's going to be so bad for Andres.
Yeah,
And
like it'd be just straight up game over.
here's the flicker. This 4/4 is huge in command on the board. I think that was a Dothy Voidwalker as the drop return.
Ooh,
It was the Blackout Store Champs promo, Dothy Voidwalker.
I saw it was blacked out. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah. Here's an Overlord Impended.
All right, so it sounds
He's-
like you're hoping that we mill over a couple
Oh, wait, we're
Wrath of
getting
the
Phantom?
Skies.
Yeah. Wrath of the Skies is the card that Andres most wants to see put into the bin. White Orchid Phantom, I mean, time to go to work. Deal with this second saga so it makes 0 constructs.
Yeah,
Not bad.
but we still have to deal with a couple 4/5/5s soon. Ooh, and he's going after the old one, so we're just gonna be able to maximize the value of the
Huh.
other one.
Interesting. this guarantees no search and no second construct, but the other saga is going to ensure the second construct anyways.
I think the main thing is Devin just wants to stall the plan as much as possible because
Yes.
Shadow Spear is backbreaking, especially because Andres is at 3 life.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the spear was in play last game.
Correct.
Did it get Wrath of the Skies this game? Is it currently in the
Ooh,
graveyard?
It might be in the graveyard.
Yeah, because I was wondering what the utility is off the search anyways.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Because I think we joked about it alongside the story. Corey Steelcutter beaten down a few turns ago.
And does this White Orchid have flying?
Flying first strike?
Flying first strike, I think.
Or just first strike? I always think it has flying because it's a ghost.
I'm pretty sure it has flying, which is huge here.
I hope it has flying. That means this Orzhov deck is just like oops all flyers, which makes you want to play it even more.
And as we learned
Ooh,
from
maybe it does.
and limited, flyers are pretty good.
Pretty goated. Flying, I would say the second most powerful keyword in Magic.
Oh no!
Wrath of the Skies, you dinkle. Then the handshake, the immediate, because there's 4 damage in play there. There's a orc and there's a White Orchid. Sheesh. Wrath of the Skies. I
Oh
mean,
man, I'm just happy I called it. We
Hey.
saw that Kappa cannon here.
yeah, not only did you call Kappa, we saw 0 Ascendancy, and this black-white deck that I'm trying to convince myself not to play is 3-0 out there on the streets. Come on, guys. Please play with me. I mean, I just like cards with flying, and this deck is just all impactful cards with flying and ephemerate, which all sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, the deck looks super fun. I thought it was going to get a lot worse when Breach got banned, but it's still proving itself right now, especially with all the Eldrazi hanging around, being able to destroy their mana ramp with
Yes.
Eldrazi Temple.
Yeah, folks just in this Orzhov deck straight up playing Vindicate and White Orchid Phantoms, just really taking down that mana base. I mean, you gotta love it. I mean, Viva, how we feeling out there? We're gonna talk to the folks. We're gonna send them on home. We're gonna go to round 4. Perfect. Folks, thank you so much. That was a long one. We're going to try to come back with our undefeated players for round number 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye.
See ya.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Hey, welcome. It's round 4 here at the Nerd Rage Gaming Home Store, Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Wednesday night, modern, Dom Striker, Christmas.
that's me.
There it is, there it is, there it is. And welcome to our final round. Our undefeated players, how dare they? They split skis and went home. They're probably on their way to Portillo's right now. But good old Chris here, he was so excited about this Jeskai deck that we brought Andres back for one more round here in the finals versus Luke on the right side, E-Tron, which I think Chris and I both said, another one.
Apparently, this deck's pretty good right now.
I think it's somewhere between people are drawn to Ugin and people are drawn to slamming their Eldrazi cards. I don't know if it is good, though, but people are drawn to it. And we see Devour of Destiny's trigger here, revealing Swamp, Devour, and Mind Stone as the cards Luke does not want. And yeah, those are our Nuka-Cola sleeves. Shout out to a man who likes a custom. Luke's deck's usually pretty.
I'm pretty.
Yo, those are, you can buy those? I can buy those right now at nerdragegaming.com. Maybe. Nuka-Cola, maybe.
They were pretty popular when they first came out, but I will say Apex sleeves are one of my favorite brands of sleeves.
Oh, you're an
now.
Apex truther. Haviv and I were talking about this, yeah. They're
They're my new favorite sleeve.
As we've said, they're great. I wish they weren't white. Which is how I feel about a lot of people and sleeves.
Oh my god. Hold up.
I'm talking about no.
Whoa,
No, 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 no.
whoa,
No, 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 no,
Unhinged.
no. There's a chalice I want to play for Luke, which I imagine is going to be impactful-ish.
Kinda.
We've seen 0s and 2s out of Andres.
Yeah, I mean the best part about Affinity is it gets a lot of values from just playing a bunch of 0 drops. So you're gonna play like Mox Amber, you're gonna play Emery. That costs 1, but it's
Costs 3. Thoughtcast, which costs 1 but costs 5.
And then you have a bunch of targets for Urza Saga, which if you draw them, then it will like have issues. And then like random like portable holes. But
oh, that's a Flesh Raker. Oh, I love it, a Flesh Raker.
yeah, Flesh Raker is a really cool addition to this deck. There's a lot of really cool synergies you can do with it, especially with Kozilek's command.
Oh, yeah, that's a fireball.
Yes, and then after your fireball,
You go again.
Scry a bunch, draw a card, then do it again.
Yes. I do think in the era of when players in their Tron style strategies were playing the ring, that they realized that you can play cards in the middle of your jump from 1 to 7 and just make your land drops and cast spells, right? And this Flesh Raker is doing the same thing of like on turns 2, 3, 4 while you're assembling things. This is a real card that you can cast and be impactful in the game. And I think we all kind of learned that lesson and now are applying it over and over.
Yeah, because like notoriously Tron was known for just mulliganing to 4s and 5s.
I hard mold to 2s, 3s, 4s all the time when I was playing Tron.
But now we're starting to realize there's a lot of really good
You
cards.
can just play good cards. You can put Mind Stone in your deck and you mulligan half as many times all of a sudden.
Did you know that there's a 4-drop called Karn the Great Creator?
Yes, I heard of that one.
It got banned in that arena-only format we were talking about earlier.
And if Luke can find one, probably incredible in this matchup against what we are labeling now as Jeskai Affinity, as we saw the big turtle.
Yeah, that turtle makes me super excited about this deck, too.
I'm glad to hear you're excited. Welcome to the final round, folks. Round 4, NRG Weekly.
So, the other cool part about this Eldrazi Tron list, I know I mentioned it earlier about how my buddy Dan played E-Tron at Darcy.
Mm-hmm.
I played against Luke a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
I
nice.
played instead of commentated.
That's right, you were
And-
yogging out there.
I made a joke. I was like, I'm curious about your deck list. And he's like, yeah, this
Yeah, this is the guy.
this Moto player named Ovenize was playing it, did really well. And I go, what a coincidence. That's my best friend.
That's Dan.
And he also made the PT with this deck list. And you can find everything
Hit
to
'em.
do with this deck
Hit him, Chris.
on the Patreon for The Swish Gaming.
Ooh, baby, stop on by. If you want to play E-Tron or whatever nonsense Dykeman's up to day to day, stop on by.
It's a lot of fun, and it was really cool to be able to talk to him a little bit about this E-Tron deck list.
Right, and when you reach the wild experience, right, of like you're playing against Luke, you're like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Is always one of the coolest experiences as I know we're yapping, but Andres got prowess triggers up the wazoo out there, folks. Look at, we got a 4/4 monk. We cut that steel. You go right through this 0/1 Eldrazi spawn. Forget about it.
This Chalice on one looks kind of embarrassing right now.
Because I believe the only card in the entire deck is Portable Hole and Tameo as the cards that it hits.
Hey, give Soul Guide Lantern as the one of the respected gifts.
Excuse me. And the Shadow Spear?
A Shadow Spear?
Yeah, excuse me. Those won't ever do a little sneaky.
We do have that Urza Saga that might be coming on.
And the Kozilek's command on the teeny tiny trampling Quarry Steel Cutter. And this spawn can jump in front of the 4-power creature, kind of save as much damage as possible. Luke's making little guys. Fireball mode activated.
I'm trying to figure out how much he did it for.
I think so is he. I believe he did it for 3, sacrificing the spawn that he didn't play.
It looks like we did X equals 1.
X equals 1.
We saw
and make an additional guy instead of sack a guy and then use that guy to get 1 more damage out of it.
Correct.
All good. I've been playing a lot of mono green brood scale. Do not recommend, by the by.
What? I love that deck.
I agree. It just kills on turn 4 and everyone else kills on turn 3. That's what I learned all through my RCQ.
Yeah, that checks out. But we do see this Karn the Great Creator.
This is
hitting
the one.
Battlefield.
This is the guy. All right. And very importantly, what Quarry Steel Cutter is up to, that is a trigger, not an activated ability. The two flurry to make it a guy to put it on there. But if Andres is going to try to move it around, cannot happen. These Moxes cannot activate. Emery can still grab stuff out of the yard, but this Karn's going to put quite a damper what Andres is trying to set up here.
Yeah, the other cool part about the Cutter, though, is it does give Trample. So it does allow us to still pressure the Karn. We're able to cast a couple spells and just start applying pressure to the Karn. And then we do have extra Monk token. So it's not over just yet, but it's definitely going to be tough. I'm just waiting to see if we can find a Kappa Cannon here.
How about a Cityscape Leveler here for Luke as the grab off that Karn?
Okay, that one might be a little more tricky.
That card's huge. Absolutely massive.
Oh, and we see the Haywire Might drawn. That was our big out to that Chalice if we drew more 1-drops.
And now it can't be cast because of the Chalice. Even if it sneaks through, it can't eat the Leveler. That's a creature.
And it can't even activate because of the Karn the Great Creator.
Yeah, there are so many things stopping this Haywire Might from putting an impact on this game.
Feels more like the Haywire Might that can't.
More like Haywire Might not.
All right, but we do get two casts of Mox Opal, trigger the Quarry, be able to just start making. We might just be trying to go wide while we still can.
Yup.
And the nice part is, like, Cityscape Leveler, like, it might, like, level out our Quarry, but we do have the Emery, so we can just cast it again, or it levels the Emery, and our Quarry is still able to get some stuff going on. And Quarry's based off of cast triggers, so that means that even if our spell gets countered with the Chalice, we still make that little Monk token, have some friends coming in.
Just get them friends coming in. Andres, hopefully the creature with Trample is going after the Karn. Try to deal as much damage as possible that way.
I think both of them are going at the Karn.
Smart move because these spawns can't fully absorb. Now we see Luke letting the Karn go.
That's interesting to see. I'm curious if we were supposed to throw a couple of the spawns just because of how much it dampers the plan.
So if Luke did spawn on the one without Trample, that absorbs, and then 2 on the other one, Karn only would have taken 1 damage.
And we had enough mana even beforehand to cast a Cityscape. So just throwing like 1 spawn under the bus would let our Karn live and then still prevent any of the casting of any of the Mox Ambers or anything to do anything. And now we have Haywire Might to exile the Chalice. Wait, did he cast the Haywire Might and goes through?
Sure did. Sure did, dog. Sure did.
The Chalice check, that works.
Man, you can't get that stuff on Moto. And
hey,
here's the Cityscape Leveler removing Quarry from this town. It's not big enough, and it is leveled and long gone.
Doesn't it destroy, not exile? The Cityscape Leveler? I'm pretty sure it destroys and makes a Power Stone.
Andres received their Power Stone.
I think that Quarry should still be in the graveyard for our Emery to be able to cast.
Oh, I cannot. I agree, but I cannot believe this Haywire Might got through, and now it is going to answer the Chalice. This is malarkey. You shouldn't have even been here. We said it's haywire might not. Come on. And then
It looks like they might have realized it, and
whoa, and it just got
Andres just-
countered. Dang. You know what? Big ups to playing truthfully here in the final round of your locals of understanding. Oh, you're right, and just letting that thing get countered. Here goes the saga. Big search. Gotta be Shadow Spear, right? Big
Yeah.
ups on this construct.
100%, especially since the Karn is gone.
And the Power Stone gives you an extra power. This little artifact that Luke has gifted to you. And the leveler is an 8/8.
It is.
So Andres is currently gonna have a 6/7 power creature.
Yep, it'll be a 7/7 lifelink trampler. So any artifact will get us big enough.
Ooh.
Either Spellbomb. I'm not a huge fan of Spellbomb bouncing it because then it's just gonna have another ETB effect.
This Spellbomb was also a huge indicator that Andres is trying to keep all of the vibes of playing Breach. Like the Spellbomb was always one of those one-ofs in Breach. We're still trying to live these dreams, but surrounding it with Corey Steelcutter and Kappa Cannoneers instead. And I still think there's a chance there's an Ascendancy in here, but it fades and fades and fades.
I think it's fading down to 0, friend.
All these cards are in those decks, I swear.
But I will say I am still tempted about that Jeskai Ascendancy deck.
Okay, there's the leveler being bounced. So, Andres, are you looking to kill? Can you kill?
I mean, we can still cast the. Ooh,
Okay.
thank you for the raid.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody. Welcome. We're here in the final round of our Nerd Rage Gaming home store. Wednesday night modern locals. We're talking Jeskai Affinity versus E-Tron. Welcome in. And big rumbles.
Yeah, we're having a nice swing for 14. That means that we do have to do some blocking. And
Oh,
honestly, I kind of would have been interested in just casting the portable hull that's in our hand. Yes, it gets countered by the Chalice to the Void.
Oh, you want the
But
+2 damage?
The extra prowess triggers, making it even more incentive to block. It means that the Fleshraker can't trade with anything. And I'm starting to like the bounce with the Spellbomb a lot more because honestly, it doesn't look like we can even cast the leveler anymore.
Oh.
We can now.
Oh.
But we
4, 5, 6, 7,
could. And the spawn is 8.
or even the Mind Stone.
Oh, I forgot
We
that's
can keep
over
it a spawn. Don't forget to shoot for 1 and make it a spawn. Yes.
there. And then Cityscape Leveler does hit colorless cards too, which is
Yep.
a big notable thing versus earlier when we were talking about how
Yes, Ugin couldn't hit them, Devour couldn't hit them, but the Cityscape Leveler can hit anything that isn't a land.
the nice part is we get another Power Stone, which still makes it our construct big enough.
Yeah, it allows Andres to keep cranking up that power there.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
He's reminding him.
Perfect. Yeah, we can just put that die on there.
Perfect.
What's wild is Andres is playing a lot of cards that can use that mana. You can cast your Steel Cutter off that Power Stone.
Hey, you can also cast that Kappa Cannoneer with them.
Because it's an artifact creature, right? Yeah.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Ooh-wee.
There's still a lot of magic left to play in this game. It looked like it was starting to get dwindled down with that Cityscape Leveler coming back over and over again. And we're just gonna Otawara bounce it,
Oh.
crash in for another
Yeah.
nice swing.
Yeah. How much is
Ooh,
happening here?
Prowess triggers. I really want to see this portable hull cast get more triggers.
So the construct has to be blocked, and the
Oh,
more
there we
prowess,
go.
yes. So these are 3 power alongside this huge construct.
It's a 5
5 power. Yep.
So right now we're attacking for 11.
So something has to be blocked.
Correct.
Even just a spawn on this construct.
But every little bit of damage is going to be what we need to be able to win if we're on Andres' side. And Luke,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of chilling with his position right now. Cityscape Leveler just going to continue to come down, blow up a creature, and then force an answer from Andres. So
And he's not that far from the burn plan because every time he casts this leveler, Andres takes 2 damage and a spawn is made. So
yeah, whenever we draw a Kozilek's command, the game's over. Game
Yes.
is just over.
That is fireball, baby. Tron still not assembled, so don't think that it is. That is just 3 different arts for tower.
Oh, what an animal. And not only are they 3 different, but of course they're all white
Of course.
bordered.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about backup fireball? Second Flesh Raker. This
Ooh.
adds up quick. And the full mana to cast the leveler
2,
after.
5, 6, 7, 8. Trigger, deal 3.
No, this is way more damage. So it's
Oh,
this makes 2 spawns. Each spawn deals 2 damage plus the leveler itself, which should be
Ooh,
6
that's
damage.
6 damage. You're right. Wait, can we blow up our own artifact to make a power stone to trigger the glaring flesh rakers?
I think Flesh Raker only triggers off colorless creatures. So we're incredibly close.
Doesn't it trigger off of Mox Opal? Wasn't that like one of
Oh
the
my god, it does?
I think so. And then
Glaring Flesh Raker. Dang. Yeah. Based on life total showing on the screen, Andre's down to 2. Kappa Cannoneer revealed off this Emery. Into the Binsky it goes, and Andres are picking him up. Hoo-wee! I mean, hey, if you don't know it already, Glaring Flesh Raker is a heck of a piece of cardboard. It is good. And if you get a second one, they add up so quickly. So quickly. The part that we were thinking of is I know Glaring Flesh Raker triggers when you cast a Mox, which then makes the little guy, and the little guy shoots. But yeah, couldn't scrape that last point, but it did not matter because boom skis, it happened. This is an older list looking for this E-Tron. We're suspecting some number of those sires might be gone in favor of that brand new beautiful Ugin. And this appears to me like a full-on cardboard. Oh, yeah? This right here? Perfect. So we're looking at the list that we were mentioning earlier. But like I said, I think I've seen some of these sires become Ugins.
And the other thing is we're talking about it. We also were replacing some of the All's Dust as copies of Ugin. I think we're down to 1 All's Dust, move the other one to the sideboard, and then we did go down to 2 copies of Chalice where originally we were on 4. Because you don't need it as much because of Breach.
Yup.
And then when you start looking at like this card board, like is there cards that you want to be bringing in against these matchups that are kind of like the 3rd or 4th card that you want to grab from the card board?
Interesting.
And that's like the approach that we always took to it is it's not necessarily that it's a good sideboard card, but is there cards in our deck that we don't want?
And could we bring in... Go for it.
Like, honestly, like, aside of Tamio, like, I'm not a huge Dismember fan.
No.
Like, I want to get those cards out of my deck. And then we would
I
go
kind
to
of
the
want
sideboard.
Torpor Orb and Trinosphere.
Yeah, like, I really like the idea of Trinosphere. It's not something that you're going to grab with Karn because the time that you're casting the Karn,
You have 7
like,
mana
you're
at that
7
point.
mana, and your opponent's already going to have like 2 cards in hand. They're not going to be like full of resources like they once were, where you can cast that Trinosphere on turn 2.
Yes.
Like,
And there's going to be
easily.
games where you mulligan a little, use your Kozilek's command, you're moving through your deck. You can still find these cards, right? There's a non-zero chance, even if you don't start with it, that you could find it. And then Trinosphere feels pretty good.
Yeah, I
Maybe
like
even
Trinosphere.
I don't know, the Bridge being in the board. I think the Bridge might still be worth 7 mana, but that's another card that I know that I want. Do I want it in the board? Do I want it in main? That's the question.
And the other part, like to add on to that, is Ensnaring Bridge and Silex are very similar. Like you're trying to stop those monk tokens. You're trying to stop the onslaught. So one of those cards you want to put into your deck. The other one you're going to keep in your side.
Yes.
So
So
I
I'm going to
think you're
keep the
on there.
Silex on the side then, right?
I agree with that.
Because it's cheaper. So Karn plus Silex is 6, but Karn plus Bridge is 7. But Bridge in my deck is just a 3-drop that I can draw.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And like those are the big things that like you start thinking about in the deck is like how can I get more value from these cards and the Karn board?
Same thing with the Cityscape Leveler. If you told me Luke boarded in the Leveler instead of Karning for it, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like 12 mana for it. Like I would pay it, but
Luke did, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a card that if you just assemble a bunch of mana and draw your big 8-mana monster, you're fine with that too.
I mean, honestly, he paid like 24 mana for that Cityscape.
Oh yeah, he just kept paying it over and over and over, but it paid off. It triggered that Flesh Raker just enough times.
Ooh, we started off with a tap Steam Vent, so that means that we don't have any Surveil lands on the Jeskai Affinity side.
Oh. Yeah, maybe a deck truly built on mana efficiency.
And that's honestly like super interesting to me. It's like how like grindy and efficient is this deck? And I honestly don't know. Don't have an answer for
No,
it.
no, no.
But now that we see Mishra's Bobble, that's now telling us that there's 12 zero drops in this deck.
Oh yeah, because the full Bobble and Moxen. Oh, hey, I'm surrounded by Corey Steelcutter lovers, my friends. Ooh, hey, that's okay. That's okay. It is good.
Just know I'm still devastated because the week the set came out,
Yep.
I sent a message to
$4,
Viva.
right?
I go, I kind of want to buy this card, but is it worth $4?
Well, is
And
it?
will I play that card? Because like I don't play mono red at
will
standard
you?
very often. And
Do you think it's worth $4?
I think it might be worth like a couple bucks.
Hey guys,
yeah.
we're double cutting now.
Oh, double cutter is insane here. This game is gonna be over so quickly.
Yeah.
Look at Luke's face. Oh
Remember
my
double
gosh.
flesh raker? How about double steel cutter?
Yeah, I think I'd pay $4 for it.
Alrighty.
You got something else? I'll buy them for $6.
I sold one for a Mountain Dew, and I don't want to talk about it.
I'll tell you what. I'll get you a nice 6-pack of Mountain Dew for it.
I don't have any more gutters. That was the one. I drank the dew.
that must be one of the best Mountain Dews you've had in a while.
It fueled me, that's for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
such a big fan of just like getting like snacks or drinks in exchange
Dude,
for cards.
That's the same thing Dykeman said when I told him that. I said I used to trade for burgers at McDonald's. Like when I was a kid, I was a degen for snacks and food. Like, here, take this card, buy me a McChicken.
Look at Luke's. I love
Yeah,
Luke.
Luke's vibing, man. Okay.
He's like, oh no.
He troned it up. He's got Sire of 7 Death. He's gonna block, I guess. But
Wait, with what blocker?
yeah, he's gonna take 7 and Andre's gonna take 7 instead.
Yeah, and then we just need a couple triggers, and it's game 3 time.
11 is not that far away.
Like we have what 2, 4, 5
Yeah.
right now. Cast 2 spells. That's I can't even do that much math.
I don't do that. So currently in play is 2, 4, 5. Each time 3 is added. So we need 2 spells to go 8 and then 11. So this is bounced. Now Andres needs to cast 2 spells if he wants to push through for Xaxes at 11.
Ooh, but we only have 1 mana source.
And Tamio is not a prowess trigger as the other card in hand. So just get in there for 5. I guess you can kill Luke next turn.
All right, I guess you can cast this consign to memory, counter the Sire 7 Death.
Oh, yeah, Andres has a consign.
Yes,
Oh
he
my
has a consign
God.
in hand.
Oh my gosh, post-board games, this card is annoying. I own these Trodlands and I'm never going to sleeve them again. It is, consigned to memory is rough.
But the crazy part about it is most decks that are playing consign to memory aren't like just gonna kill you on the following turn.
This one will.
This is
This one will. Holy
this
cow.
is an exception to that rule. Exception.
Yeah,
But
oh my
most
gosh.
of them, it's just like I'm gonna just stall you out. I'm gonna like push you back a couple turns.
Yep.
And the Eldrazi-tron, it's just gonna go haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. Like
Mm.
I'm telling you right now, Dan didn't get 10th place and have a 77% win rate. You think that he missed lethal? So I don't believe so because we have 2 colorless lands in play.
Could,
He could have cast consign on the Sire trigger.
sick. Hey, you right.
Ooh, you're. That still wouldn't be enough though, because
There was no second spell to be able to be cast.
we wouldn't be able to cast another spell because you pay 1 to bounce it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't give us a trigger because we just got the spell bomb with the Urza Saga.
Right, yeah.
And then consign would be spell 1.
If Andres had a colorless spell in hand, it could have been lethal, but
Correct.
we will never know. For that Urza Saga stopped. What was happening? That game showed you the power of not 1 but 2 cutters ends games quick. But all that means, folks, is we're getting to game number 3.
Ooh, I love when it happens like this. Get that nice 3rd game, all the pressure on this one game for all the marbles.
For all the marbles.
And that leaf energy.
Yeah, and there's leaf energy in my hand. That is sticky for some reason. And I don't know. And our players out here, they're moving and grooving. You want to talk about Tarkir cards? This is a battle of them, right? The Corey Steelcutter versus Ugin.
Ooh.
2 of the most popular cards outside of Elspeth. I think if you had to put it broad scheme, those are kind of the big three that people are actively playing and enjoying and talking about.
You don't think Bargain's up there?
Rakshasa's Bargain. Yeah, probably in Legacy and stuff too, huh?
Yeah, Legacy is huge on that card.
Beans? Beans, nothing but beans. Yeah, it's true. It's a good point.
Like, honestly, I think I hear more about the Bargain than I do Elspeth.
Okay.
Like, Elspeth is really cool in Standard, but all these other cards are making impacts on other formats.
Other waves, other formats. All right, fair.
And I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier. This set is just sweet.
It's just sweet.
You got Standard Impact. You got Pioneer, that nice arena format.
Wizards, I don't know if you're
Modern.
listening, but Tarkir is a slam dunk. Dragons, cool. The cards, cool. The setting, cool. The impact on the game, cool. Literally every format is playing cards from this set. It is a win. Tarkir slaps. That's all.
I agree.
It was cool the first time. It rules the second time.
And it's the first time in a while that I would say that Wizards of the Coast had a slam dunk set. And I would honestly want to buy more of it.
Yes. Like Bloomburrow and Dustborn, incredible sets, highly impactful sets, no questions asked. And I'm annoyed about it. This set, cool, impactful, awesome, and I'm down for it. Like, whatever it is, the vibes it's giving, what it's making me feel, this one just hits right. And speaking of which, this is a Chalice from Luke on Un or on Zero.
And that one does not feel good.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
now,
Andres.
now Andres has his one drop. We're good.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Both
players got their one drop. Luke is shaking his head.
Yeah, brother.
He's vibing.
Ooh.
He's feeling good. We got that Chalice on Zero. He's protected. No worries. No stress.
Dude, I want to feel what he's feeling. This is good. Yes, brother. Vibe.
And then he's going to cast a spell and then Consign to Memory. It's just going to ruin all the fun.
Yeah, but Andres has 12 blinks in his deck that he can't play through this Chalice now.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes
forgot about that
Tamio.
part.
Whatever. No blocks.
No blocks.
See, it's the worst, right?
I'll
It's
go
like-
down to 20.
Yeah. I'll stay at my same life total. Thanks for making me pick up my pen and realize nothing happens.
I do that when I crack a Fable passage.
Oh, I do
I'm like,
too.
oh.
I literally moved to. No, it's not. It's not. I feel it every time too.
Or my other one is if I ever touch Legacy, which doesn't happen often,
It's
and I
okay.
play a dual land.
Yeah,
Oh,
you feel
I'm
like you should take
shocking
two. Yeah. Oh, and here goes Tron piece number 2 for Luke, getting Zip Power Plant. 4 mana, thought not seared. I
Ooh,
think not.
What are we casting a Consign here
Or what's the tap an artifact counter spel?
Ooh, Metallic Rebuke?
Metallic Rebuke.
I am a fan of that card.
Oh,
And we are
we're
playing
shocking.
Affinity.
We're shocking.
I do feel that
It could just be a replicated consign. What? Yeah, because he needs to pay mana. Oh no, because the Chalice is on 0. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna guess Metallic Rebuke. All things equal.
Oh.
Okay. I'm on it. I got these fine folks.
Just let me know if you need a judge. All right. We have Dom heading over there. Just letting him know. Oh, he thought the Chalice was on 1, but it's actually on 0. So what Andres was thinking is he's shocked in his Sacred Foundry, thinking that was on 1, so he could replicate it, because the replicate wouldn't get countered by that Chalice of the Void. So my guess is the question, and I assume the question was, I shocked in the Sacred Foundry thinking that Chalice was on 1, but it was actually on 0.
It was Andres asking if a Chalice on 0 countered the replicated copies. Because it's a free thing, so it feels like it's a 0. And I went, well, you're not casting those, and also if you did, they'd be 1. So we're A-OK on that side. Andres just making sure.
Okay.
Good question. Good questions, and please always ask. This is how we all learn.
Mm-hmm.
Magic is incredibly difficult, and it is my favorite saying when you're like deep in the tank on a turn to go, man, this game's hard. Have you ever can probably attest? It happens a lot where you're just like, you're deep in the tank, and you're like, 1, this game rules, and 2, this game's hard.
All right, my mind is getting blown from 2 different sides.
Because you got this Ghostfire Ugin.
We got this beautiful Ugin coming in, taking over the game. But I also see a Flage in the bottom right-hand corner.
How'd that get there?
We milled it over with our Tamio.
Brother, what? You can't find room for Jeskai Ascendancy, but you got Flage in your Urza Saga deck.
Hey, just continue holding out hope. There's still a chance.
Man.
But
Can you imagine this the final moments Andres just cast a Jeskai
and
Ascendancy?
then just wins the game.
Oh, here's the thought cast. This is good. That's good. Tamio
Oof.
flips Skiddy.
I forgot how good Thoughtcast is with Tamio.
Yeah, but what's this Tamio doing?
Uptick.
But Luke's gonna cast 7 colorless spells and annihilate everything Andres has in play.
Yeah, I got nothing on that one, but it could have been cool.
It could be cool.
But I'm sure this is just going to be Ugin uptick one more time.
Blast.
And then we're going to be able to see Ugin -11.
Okay, so in standard, I did beat someone who ultimated their Ugin. I'm pretty sure if Luke gets to do it, Andres will not claw back.
I do think that getting Sire of 7 Deaths for free and triggering Glaring Fleshraker.
Oh, the Fleshraker will
times.
just kill. Yeah, just literally annihilate. And Andres has seen enough out of there. That Chalice on 0, I imagine, put in some work, but also, hey, just curve out sometimes. See what happens. And we see those Flages, those Consigns. Those were the cards that were brought in for Andres with this deck that was exciting for us in the booth to see this Jeskai deck popping off, but E-Tron taking it down, a deck that you said might be a little good. Maybe folks can get some help with it, whatever it could be.
Yeah.
If you missed it earlier, stop by the VOD, youtube.com/nerdragegaming. Check it out. Hear the good words we have to say about E-Tron. What do we want to tell the folks? I mean, one, thank you so much for coming here. Chris, thank you for joining us. Awesome day in the booth. If you want to get some of these beautiful Magic cards, you can stop by nerdragegaming.com. If they don't have it, you wishlist it. If you're looking for foils, stop by the TCG Player Pro Store. If you're looking for other games, Pokemon, Digimon, One Piece, Gundam, Union Arena. If you're looking for Digimon, One Piece, Lorcana, you can buy them at that Pro Store. You can stop by live 3 times a week at least here on this channel. Modern on Wednesdays, Thursday the Pokemons, and Tuesday Lorcana, as well as Friday night Boomer Zoomer Legacy Standard for Magic. Saturday into Monday is that Digimon Loop and that Elder Dragon Highlander. If gaming is for you, Buffalo Grove, Illinois, in this area, and if locals just aren't enough, and you got that itch, or you're trying to make it all the way to the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship end of the year event, stop by Chicagoland event May 10th and the 11th, Saturday. Modern Showdown. Queue for champs. Get a token in your likeness. You too can be like Nikachu. And on Sunday, that 5K standard trial, get these beautiful tokens just like this. We chat about them all the time. This is the thing that I think you hear people casually chatting about, like, oh, if I want to make this token, oh, if I want to make this token, oh, it'd be so cool. Oh, when this person wins, we're all like trying to guess what token they're making. There is so much fun about this part being a prize. It is always some people's favorite parts to be immortalized forever. You can do that on May 10th and 11th. And there's one more shot in Season 10, June 28th and the 29th in Indianapolis. Know that these 2 events that you see here are swapped. So the Team Sealed Showdown will take place on Saturday to make sure that there's time for folks to get their draft on. And on 10K Standard Showdown will be on Sunday. Both events, queuing for champs and getting you to the end of the year event, that token and that good cash.
And the other cool part is something they just started up this year.
Go on.
Is the winners also get a cool banner.
Oh, the banners on the wall. I've seen the banners too. Yeah, so stop by these Nerd Rage events, especially the next one that's going to be local, right here in the area where many of these players are from. A lot of us are going to be in our hometown, but folks are going to be coming from all over the place. I mean, it's a Modern Standard weekend. How can you not be there? Come on down, join us again. One last time, Chris, thank you for being here. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the Nerd Rage Gaming Home Store Wednesday night locals. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.